All right, I got stuff too. I only have a few fixes. Here we go. Here we go.
I wonder why I never lonely. I wonder why we spend these nights together. Is this the room I'll live my life forever? I wonder why in LA. To live and die in LA.
It's 4K, finally! How long did it take? Too goddamn long! July 18th, baby, yeah! What?
Hey, my name is King, or as some of you might know me better, Israel. I've gotten around, but hopefully you recognize me from my own channel, King Tannic. There's a new show coming to the Burnettwork that I think is pretty exciting. Welcome to the Otaku Experience, hosted by yours truly. There is going to be a weekly series where we dive into the news and the world of anime, manga, and whatever the heck else Japan has to offer us. The show will be pre-recorded and premiere on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Time or 5 p.m. Eastern right here on the Burnettwork YouTube channel.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on YouTube. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and your pharaoh of physical media. That's right, me, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm broadcasting at you imagination connoisseurs, you members of this, the Post-Geek Singularity community. It is Let's Get Physical Media. Yes, it is. And you know what? It's your favorite show on YouTube. You know why? It's not because of me. It's not because of me. It's because of Lana Ewan. That's right, the latest addition to the Burnettwork. Lana Ewan is dropping another video today. They surprised the hell out of me. A late night drop. Beyond disgusting, she says. And if Lana Ewan thinks it's disgusting, you know it's disgusting. Stuart Gordon's follow-up to his masterpiece, Reanimator. You'll learn everything you need to know about the pineal gland. I haven't even watched this review. I just downloaded it. I'm very excited for it. I'm excited for anything Lana Ewan does, to be honest. I'm so happy to have her and her husband. Her husband, man, Alan is making some magic. I mean, the two of them, they create some of the best content on YouTube. So proud to have them on the show. Can't wait to watch this. I'm going to make it a live premiere, and I'm going to watch it with you guys right after the show's over because it's that much fun. But enough about the hot chicks on this channel, because that's not what we're about here. What we're about here, we're about your favorite German, my favorite German, everybody's favorite German, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. DIETER. Bastian, DIETER, take it away.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. DIETER here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for our double birthday bash, because today is mine, and Rob will be coming up later, because in roughly 4 hours, the 14th is gone, and the 15th is there. So you and I, Rob, park our shuttlecraft almost in the same shuttle bay.
Well, at least our parents parked their shuttlecraft in their shuttle bay, if you know what I'm saying. Come on, and I think you do.
And I promised you, Rob, are you happy now? Are you happy now? God damn it, Rob. Are you happy now? So
you know what, Dieter? Dietz, I'm happy now. I got to say, I'm trying to give my liver a break. And I've got my For All Mankind. This is the greatest thing. This was swag. I actually shilled not expecting anything. I was shilling for the show because I love it so much. They reached out to me. Sony reached out to me and said, we really appreciate you loving For All Mankind. This ties into something later today. But this thing, you can put water, ice water in this, seal it up, and the ice water will stay ice water with ice in it for days. Love it.
So it is space.
It's space worthy, buddy.
Good.
It is space worthy. What can I tell you? I'm very excited, but I hope you like my little commercial. I mean, big news of the week.
Totally.
I mean, maybe not big news for some people. Finally, I was singing a little CC Peniston, if you know what I'm saying. My God, To Live and Die in LA is coming out July 18th. It is locked and loaded, and they've made promises that they better fucking keep. That's all I can say.
Nope. Yeah.
So Kino Lorber,
relays pushes.
and then not to be forgotten, because you know Kino Lorber is an official sponsor of this show. What came out this week? By the way, I don't have mine. I didn't get my disc shipments. I had discs canceled. I'm really upset. I'll work it out. But guess what came out this week, dude? You know it. You love it. That's right, baby. On Blu-ray, the Kino Lorber Experience Cinema. I mean, Brian Bosworth, the great Lance Henriksen, Stone Cold, now on Blu-ray, a new release from Kino Lorber. You know him, you love him. He's Brian Bosworth, but let me tell you, I've talked about this movie a lot. This movie fucking kicks ass. Craig Baxley just rules. His direction is all over the place, and it's awesome. I love it. I mean, his direction's all over the place, meaning you don't know what you're going to get. The action just, it flows out of here. And let me tell you, Lance Henriksen, one of the great villain turns in cinematic history. If you don't own Stone Cold, it is a piece of 90s cheese that is just the most buttery goodness ever. It's like that Trader Joe's unexpected cheddar, man. You put that stuff in your mouth, you're like, damn, this is so good. And when you watch Stone Cold, you'll know from the opening scene in like the mini mart, grocery store, whatever, you'll be like, it is a grocery store. You'll be like, okay, I'm in. Everybody, go to Amazon right now and hit that click button. Buy Kino Lorber's release of Stone Cold. God bless Kino Lorber. They released the official release date of To Live and Die in LA this week, and they give us fucking Stone Cold. Oh my God!
And not only that, Rob, I've seen an announcement for perhaps not that interesting for you, but for Perfect Weapon.
Okay, you know what? It's a 4K. I was gonna let you talk about it, but why don't you? That's Jeff Speakman. Is it Jeff Speakman?
Exactly. Rob.
Okay,
you know, great martial arts movie back in the day. And Rob, wasn't it from Paramount 2 when it was released?
Probably. You know, I mean, these major studios, they're doing is outsourcing their video. I mean, as long as it's a good Paramount release, and you know, since you're bringing it up, and you know, I think Jeff Speakman was in a movie with William Shatner. I just want to say, I think he was. He was. And which, you know, why shouldn't he be? Why shouldn't Jeff Speakman be in he should absolutely be in a movie with William Shatner. But now we have to point out that again, another great title from Kino Lorber. And here is which I'm pulling this from the news. No gun, no knife, no equal. Jeff Speakman is the perfect weapon. Just try him. Now, here's the info. Here is the 411 on this. This is a 2K restoration, but it is a Blu-ray. It is going to be a Blu-ray. And so there you go. And it's coming out. Does it give us a release date? Late. All it says is late 2023. It's going to be it's 185, obviously. It's a single disc, but it's, God bless him, BD50. Oh, yeah. So there you go, buddy. Jeff Speakman. I knew the Trash Panda would want to celebrate.
Especially Rob, it's more of a title that I would expect from Vinegar Syndrome, you know, to release.
I know, but you know what? Kino Lorber, man, they're quickly becoming.
Yeah. I
mean, we love them here because, and we're going to talk about more of them later, but my God.
Awesome.
I mean, they're bringing the heat. The heat. Would you like to watch me sing To Live and Die in LA again? Because, you know, we can. Let's watch it one more time.
I wonder why I live alone. I wonder why we spend these nights together. Is this the room I'll live my life forever? I wonder why in LA. To live and die in LA.
It's 4K, finally! How long did it take? Too goddamn long! July 18th, baby, I wasn't even drunk when I made that, I swear to God. And by the way, 200-watt studio, do not come in here today and harsh my mellow and talk about how To Live and Die in L.A. is not a great movie. You were wrong, sir. I appreciate you. You're a great fan of the channel, a great supporter of this channel. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to invite you over to my house. You have a standing invitation. Ooh. You got to drive out here. It's kind of a trek. You got to trek out here. And we're going to watch this together, and you're going to sit on the side of the media room that has my framed Polish To Live and Die in LA one sheet that's framed under UV-coated plexi so it won't fade, right next to my original Dr. No one sheet. So 200-watt studio, you have a standing invitation to come here. We're going to watch it together. Maybe I'll have a bigger OLED by then. Who knows? But still, I'm going to show you. And you're gonna bathe in the wide wonder that is William Friedkin's To Live and Die in L.A.
Plus, he has to watch all the special features.
Yeah, of course, all the special features. And we're going to watch the whole thing. It's going to be a To Live and Die in L.A. afternoon with Hurricane Billy Friedkin. Come on now.
That's a great invitation that I would gladly join.
Well, you should come. Fly over here. You're welcome too.
I would like to pick up from the show where we left off. I just wanted to say Simon, who had brain surgery, is at home again. He's resting. He's doing okay. And the first thing that he said to me when he woke up was he remembered me and African Kung Fu Nazis. So I said to him, well, Simon, I'm sorry they screwed up the operation, because if that is your first memory from your memory banks, then something has gone wrong with your operation.
No, I would say that something went incredibly right with his operation. Now, before the cancel crowd comes after us, the mascot, if this show has a mascot, it is in fact the movie African Kung Fu Nazis.
Yeah.
Unironically, we love African Kung Fu Nazis, one of the great exploitation titles to come out recently from Africa, and I still have Justin Toner's copy right over there. And it's a beautiful German...
where it belongs, Rob.
And I have a beautiful German media book of it, thanks to you. So, by the way, we are not joking. There is an African exploitation film called African Kung Fu Nazis, and it needs to be seen to be believed. And so there you go. Now, I would like to talk about something quickly that's near and dear to my heart. So, growing up, I'm obviously from Seattle. And in Seattle, there was a Cinerama theater. It wasn't a dome, but it was a Cinerama theater. It was a beautiful theater. I grew up going there, and for instance, I saw everything. I saw the Black Hole there. I saw Arthur, the movie Arthur, there like 4 times. I love the Cinerama, and every year, the Seattle International Film Festival, when I was growing up in the early to mid 80s, they used to have a 70 millimeter film festival as part of the Seattle International Film Festival, and it would start at midnight. And they would show 4 movies in 70 millimeter. I got to see things like Lawrence of Arabia. I got to see West Side Story. I got to see Ben-Hur. I mean, I got to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was the greatest thing ever. You'd stay up all night and watch movies there. Well, Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, former owner of the Seattle Seahawks, bought the Cinerama and restored it and made it one of America's great movie theaters. And nice. I thought, because of Seattle and the tech bros and how the entire city of Seattle has been transformed by incredibly expensive apartment houses that they've built, high-rise apartment houses, and the homeless, Seattle does not have the luster that it once had. It used to be the Emerald City. Now it's kind of like the doldrums from the Phantom Toll Booth. But anyway, I still love Seattle. So Paul Allen died. And during COVID, early on in COVID, the Cinerama Theater was shuttered. So it's been closed for the last 3 years. And here is the Cinerama Theater. And Thursday night, this past Thursday night, at the opening of the Seattle International Film Festival, it was announced that the Cinerama Dome is coming back. Or it's not, pardon me, I say dome. It's not a dome. The Cinerama Theater is coming back. And what is very exciting about this is it has been, let me read this article. It comes to us from Geek Life. Kurt Schlosser, probably a German, wrote this. The Cinerama is saved. The Seattle film nonprofit Seattle International Film Festival that the Hills Run Red had its premiere there. The Seattle International Film Festival, I have a poster for the Seattle International, the 9th Seattle International Film Festival right above my head. So the Seattle International Film Festival has acquired, Seattle film lovers got their Hollywood ending. The nonprofit film and educational organization Seattle International Film Festival, or SIFF, acquired the Cinerama from the estate of Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, ending more than 3 years of uncertainty for the historic downtown Seattle movie theater. They're going to tear it down and build housing, more expensive apartments that nobody can afford. SIFF announced the acquisition Thursday evening at the opening of the 49th Seattle International Film Festival. It's so funny. I have a 9th, so 40 years ago, I've got a poster for 40 years ago. I've been going to the Seattle International Film Festival for that long. The crowd roared and gave a standing ovation as SIFF executive director Tom Mora revealed the news on stage. Terms of the sale were not disclosed. SIFF said it plans to reopen the theater, which has been closed since February 2020, under a new name. So it is no longer going to be the Cinerama, which is kind of a bummer. I understand that, though, because Cinerama is a copywritten name, but they should still call it the Cinerama. They should call it something like that. It's provided another necessary boost to downtown Seattle's comeback from the pandemic. The sale was in line with the wishes of Paul Allen, who died in October 2018 at the age of 65. The billionaire philanthropist used his vast wealth to build and acquire an assortment of properties, including theaters, museums, professional sports teams, and more. Allen's sister, Jody Allen, is the executor of his estate. For several years has been selling off pieces of it, ranging from super yachts to works of art to historic military aircraft, with all the proceeds dedicated to philanthropy. In a statement Thursday, she said the estate was pleased with the Cinerama sale to SIFF. They are an ideal mission-driven organization to now shepherd this very special place, bring more film and movie lovers to downtown Seattle, and steward the venue and its role in our community for years to come, Jody Allen said in a statement. And it's been rescued from demolition. The Cinerama at 2100 4th Avenue in the Belltown neighborhood originally opened in 1963, just a year after Seattle hosted the World's Fair. As suburban multiplexes eventually gained in popularity, Cinerama's ticket sales declined. By the late 1990s, the single-screen theater had fallen into disrepair and was in danger of being demolished. In 1998, Paul Allen stepped in to save the place he loved as a child. After a multi-million-dollar renovation, the Cinerama reopened in 1999. The theater became a destination for blockbuster first-run movies, cult classics, and several film festivals, including the science fiction, classic films, horror, and 70mm festivals, according to the Cinerama website. Their science fiction film festival was fucking baller. They had great shit there, and it's great to see him come back. In 2014, Allen poured more money into a major state-of-the-art technology upgrade with an installation of a digital laser projection system, improved sound, and fewer and wider seats for better legroom. The Cinerama closed in February 2020 with repairs on what was called normal wear and tear at the time, with plans to reopen later in the year. A number of employees unexpectedly lost their jobs, and the closure became more permanent when COVID-19 dealt a crippling blow to businesses that relied on being together in public. In May of that year, Allen's Vulcan Incorporated shuttered its arts and entertainment division, and the future of Cinerama and other properties looked bleak. So anyway, no one saved it, and yet, thank you, Paul Allen's sister, because now SIFF is in control of this. And, I have to tell you, dude, that fucking renovation when they added the laser projection system, I saw the very first show of Blade Runner in the Cinerama. And people forget, but there was Warner Brothers had I forget what it was called, but a new bass system for low frequencies that was incredible. And I mean, I love this theater. I've seen so many countless movies in this theater. SIFF provided. I went to the Seattle premiere of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in that theater. It's incredible. The theater is incredible, and SIFF will make sure it's run correctly. And what's great is, it's kind of a single building. It's a corner building unto itself, and they wanted to tear it down so they could stick more really expensive high-rise apartments that cost $5,000 a month to live in. Like, who the fuck wants to do that? And thank God Seattle. The joke is if you paid enough money, you can tear anything you want down in Seattle because nobody cares about history or anything. I go back there. I'm like, what is this city? I don't remember the city I grew up in, but that's neither here nor there. I don't live there permanently, but goddamn, I'm excited to see the Cinerama come back. Can you tell I'm drinking coffee this morning? Because I certainly can.
And
so this is a good birthday present for me. Would you like me to sing "To Live and Die in L.A." again? Because I can.
If you want to, Rob, I won't hold you back.
No. I think people have had enough.
And
they'll tune out.
Of the theatrical experience that you have there, Rob, it's the second week for Guardians of the Galaxy. How did it do?
Oh yeah, I forgot. By the way, before
have you seen it, Rob?
No, I have not. Can you believe it? I've not seen Guardians of the Galaxy because I'll tell you why. And I'll say this. I'll flex. So, Kevin Rubio and I we have an animated property that we've been developing for a while.
Yeah.
And Mike Bodden, Kevin Rubio, and I, and we took it out. We pitched it. We had its first pitch. Now, people will say, well, wait a minute. How can you pitch something during the writer's strike? Well, I contacted David Goodman, the president of the Writers Guild of America, and I said, hey, we want to pitch this thing to DreamWorks television animation. And I want to make sure I'm not a WGA member. And he said, well, we talked about it. DreamWorks television animation is not a WGA signatory. They are an IATSE signatory. So David Goodman said, you can absolutely pitch your property there because it's another Hollywood union and you would be working under those union rules and they are not currently on strike. So I checked with the president of the WGA. We had a fantastic pitch on Friday and I'd been using my spare time to prepare that pitch. So, hey, we pitched DreamWorks on, I pitched DreamWorks on Friday. So, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Why I was telling you this? Oh, that's why I didn't get to see Guardians of the Galaxy, because I've been busy working on this pitch. We'll see where it goes. So, what you want to know is box office.
Yeah, second weekend. The second weekend is telling.
The second weekend is telling, and I'm looking, and I don't know if they've okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Guardians. Wow. Okay, here we go. Nancy Tartaglione coming in with our info. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 blasts to 529 million worldwide. Mario crosses 1.2 billion and propels Universal past 2 billion in 2023. Now, these are the international box office numbers. After crossing the 300 million mark globally through Monday of last week, Disney Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is thrust to another milestone. The James Gunn-directed threequel handedly crossed the $500 million mark in the sophomore frame and now sits at an estimated 528.8 million global box office. And 213 million is domestic and 315.6 million at the international box office. The $529 million global cum lands the gang as the second biggest Hollywood release of the year so far worldwide behind Mario. Overseas, the film is about to pass the final gross of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that's overseas, so it's going to outgross, which was 318 million. Meanwhile, Guardians Chris Pratt, dude, obviously does the voice of Mario and stars in Guardians 3. I mean, is that guy having a good month or what? Meanwhile, Guardians Chris Pratt is doing double duty at the top of the chart as the voice of Mario, which is estimated at 675 million overseas and 1.21 global through Sunday. As his Insta handle goes, it's a Pratt weekend. For Star-Lord and company in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, offshore midweeks led to a second weekend drop of 40% from the opening, and this is better than Guardians of the Galaxy the First, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in the same markets. It also marks the fifth best hold for a second weekend on an MCU title internationally. And as for the juggernaut that is Mario, its second weekend in Japan overtook Despicable Me to become the biggest Universal Animation and biggest Illumination title of all time in the market. In Germany, thanks to the continued strong performance of Super Mario, the 13 Illumination films have exceeded the 40 million admissions mark, corresponding to an average of 3 million people per film. Boy, you Germans really like what Illumination puts out. It's pretty good.
There we go.
So they love you. They love you in Germany. Now, Anthony, over domestically, Anthony D'Alessandro says, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 keeps getting stronger, and the book club, the next chapter, weaker. If that latter focus features movie, which is now pegged at 6.5 million, pegged? I see what they did. I see what they did there. I'd go a little femdom with those ladies, I'm just saying. 6.5 million is going to rise to another level. It's today on Mother's Day, by surprise. However, analysts have already built into the projections that isn't happening. Note that older female moviegoers typically plan their trips to the cinema in advance, hence we'd see advanced ticket sales, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 repping the best second weekend hold for a Marvel Cinematic Universe title post-pandemic at 49%. With 60.5 million, it appears that the movie is sopping up all the mom action. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? They're talking about pegged and mom action. Anthony, you cheeky boy. I see what you're doing. You're writing this stuff. Maybe I'm the only one who notices, but I don't think so. By the way, I mean, all four of those ladies are hot. Even into her 80s, Jane Fonda, I wouldn't kick her out of... Oh, wait, what? Never mind. The last time we saw a second weekend hold this strong during the pandemic for an MCU title was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, with a 54% drop. Since then, most MCU titles have been in the deep 60% percentile, including last summer's kickoff, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and even the pandemic-high Spider-Man No Way Home dropped 68% its second weekend. And before everyone cries, boo-hoo, female-skewing movies aren't working, or boo-hoo, non-tentpole movies aren't working, consider the fact that if Book Club 2 doesn't get a big bounce, come on, dude. This is hilarious. This is
three for three, Rob.
Three for three. Am I just a dirty-minded young boy, or am I a dirty old man? Either one. That's I'm a young boy at heart, a dirty old man, but a bounce... Pegging and come on, this is pretty funny. I'll give him a big bounce on Mother's Day.
Fine line here, Rob.
Doesn't get a big bounce. Wow, doesn't get a big bounce on Mother's Day today. Right now, Sunday is being estimated at a 17% increase over Saturday. It may just boil down to product. No one was asking for a sequel here to the Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, Mary Steenburgen, and Diane Keaton ensemble. First of all, let's break that down. Diane Fonda, Candice Bergen, Mary Steenburgen, and Diane Keaton ensemble. As far as four-ways go, that's a pretty great setup. I'm just saying. And even now, come on. Just saying. And Anthony knows what he's doing. Also consider this. By pre-pandemic standards, the start here for Book Club 2 isn't that far from where another older skewing female title, the second best exotic Marigold Hotel, was back in 2015. Posting an 8.5 million opening, finalizing at 33 million stateside. Anyway, then it goes on and on and on and on and on. Blah blah blah. Who cares? Don't care.
But a good second weekend for Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians. So here's how it breaks down. This is domestically in the U.S. Guardians of the Galaxy made 60.5 million this weekend for a total of 213.2 million domestic. Super Mario made. For week 6, it made 13 million this weekend for a total domestic haul of 535.9 million, which is huge. Book Club, the next chapter, made 6.5 million this weekend. Evil Dead Rise made 3.7 million for a total of 60.1 million. Great result for Evil Dead Rise, which they were going to release it on streaming. If any, between Barbarian, between Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Rise and Smile were both titles that were going to be released on streaming. Thank God they weren't. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is up to 16.4 million. It's so funny because when I was in elementary school, everybody read that book. Even dudes read that book because it had forbidden knowledge about girls getting their periods. But, I was thinking about going to see Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. But then again, maybe I won't. I say that. I think it's a clever Judy Blume joke. It's a deep cut, but no one laughs. That's fine. Hypnotic, the new Robert Rodriguez movie that stars Ben Affleck. No, it's $2.3 million. It's had a lot of production problems, but hey, it came out. John Wick Chapter 4 made almost $2 million this weekend for a domestic total of $182.9 million. Lionsgate has to be happy about that. Air, another Ben Affleck movie. He's on 2 movies on this. Made not quite $1 million this weekend, but it's up to $51.7 million. Not bad for a movie about shoes. Dungeons and Dragons, I think ultimately kind of a disappointment. It's up to $92.1 million. I would have thought that movie would have made more. Yeah. But the movie Blackberry, about the rise and fall of the BlackBerry device, which I've heard is actually very good, has made $740 million this weekend at 450 theaters. And that's not great, but I've heard the movie's great. So, hey, maybe that's not a bad result. So there you go, buddy. Wow, nice. what a Anthony D'Alessandro, I raise my glass of fine coffee to you, sir, because wow. And you're tell me that beer's alcoholic.
Yes, Rob. Yes. It is a mix, Rob. What we call here in Germany or in the Saarland, gespritztes. So it's...
Is there lemonade in there?
Two-thirds beer and just the top is Coke. That's what we call gespritztes here, Rob. So injected.
So what it's called, it's a drink for lightweights, is what you're saying.
If you would call it that,
I would.
Okay. But it's more beer than Coke, Rob. Coke is just injected a little bit.
More beer than Coke. Okay. How can you... I mean, I'm sure there's other fellow Germans watching this that are screaming at you now.
No, probably not. This is a pretty common. Pretty common, Rob.
Okay. Well, if you say so.
Pretty common, Rob. Yeah. And... yeah.
Well, no. Hey. There is a really interesting piece of news that I did... want to share with everybody because it's relevant. So there is a new Criterion has a new label, a Criterion label. So when Criterion was founded, it was founded with Janus Films, and this is really interesting actually. The Criterion Collection has announced a brand new line of home video releases called Janus, or is it Janus? I mean, I thought it was Janus, the god, whatever. Janus Contemporaries. The first release from the new line will be Jersey, and I can't pronounce his last name, the film EO, about the donkey. It's actually a great film.
I saw that, yeah.
The official announcement, starting this fall, Criterion will proudly join with Janus Films, or Janus Films, maybe it's Janus, in presenting, let's call it, I'll just say both so I can be right half the time. Janus Contemporaries, a new line of home video editions of first-run theatrical releases fresh from theaters, following their streaming premieres on the Criterion Channel. What I love about this is, rather than waiting, and not to say that Criterion, by the way, Criterion did put out, you can get Wings of Desire in 4K now domestically. The fact that they're doing this, that they're not just putting out older films, they're putting out, I mean, Criterion's put out things like Power of the Dog, Jane Campion's film, but this is really interesting. So even when they've streamed, they've made a further commitment to releasing more contemporary films on this offshoot label, which is very cool. The State of Janus Contemporaries line will feature Jafir Panshi's No Bears, writer-director Louis Gorelli's The Innocent. I can't even pronounce these names. Yeah. Torian Lokita and Felix van Grode somebody, and Charlotte Vandersmerch's The Eight Mountains. The Blu-ray and DVD editions will feature new interviews with the filmmakers, produced by Criterion as a part of the Criterion Channel series Meet the Filmmakers, and will retail for $29.95. Known for more than 65 years as the premier U.S. distributor of independent art house cinemas, Janus is home to many of the great movies ever made, from such vaunted masters as Chantal Ackerman, Michelangelo Antonioni, Ingmar Bergman, Jean Cocteau, the Coen brothers, Jean-Luc Godard, Akira Kurosawa, David Lynch, Ozu, Saadi Ray, Francois Truffaut, Melvin Van Peebles, Agnes Varda, Wim Wenders, and Wong Kar-wai. Last year, when Sight and Sound revealed the results of a once-in-a-decade poll, the critics and directors list of the top 100 films of all time included more than 50 entries from the Janus Library. So, pretty exciting.
Nice.
And, of course, This is the poster for the Donkey movie. This movie's not the happiest movie I've ever seen, to be honest, but it's a great movie. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, especially if they are, like you said, a more contemporary stuff.
Yes.
If they would put out on their
It's true.
Subsidiary label. That would be.
By the way, this is my Avatar Way of Water cup I got in my swag bag at CinemaCon. It has a double layer, so you've got water from Pandora right here. You can see it spinning around. And also, it keeps the water cold too.
Nice. Where do we go from Europe?
Where do we go from here? We go to the Buffy episode, Once More with Feeling. Oh, wait. No, we shouldn't do that. It's a different kind of a show. Well, there is something I want to bring up. Our friend Jeff from Films at Home talked about, and I see people screaming online about, oh my God, the sky is falling when it comes to 4K. If you saw the pie chart at the beginning of the episode, this is from the week ending May 6th, last week, and look at the bestsellers. DVD 72%, Blu-rays 23.2%, and 4K UHD is down to 4% of the market share of discs sold for this week ending on May 6th. And there's been a lot of pundits that are screaming about the sky is falling with the 4K market. I'd say slow your roll, hold down, hold up. Now remember, that's a weekly sales number, and let's check out the number. I'm going to just point this out. I'll bring up the sales figures. We'll do it first. Here are the sales figures ending for May 6th. If you look here, Deep Impact is the only new 4K disc that came out. That's a catalog title. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Top Gun Maverick, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Other than Deep Impact, which is a catalog title, and 97% of the people that bought it in 4K, bought it. But as you can see here, there's nothing new. There's no big. These have been on the charts for weeks and weeks and weeks. There's nothing new, and the reason that we are seeing this precipitous decline in this week's UHD 4K sales is because there's nothing new to drive them. It's a weak month. Call it what you want. There's not a lot of great stuff coming out. A lot of great boutique titles, but there's not a lot of things driving the marketplace. So, what do you got there, son?
That was one of those percentages.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to have mine. By the way, I love this movie. I love
the cover, especially
the covers. Paramount really. Again, because somebody listened to us bitch and moan and complain about that Poltergeist cover and the Lost Boys cover, so they know. Have you watched that?
Great. Unfortunately, not, Rob, because, like I said to you before we started the show, this is our, Rob, 107 show.
107th show.
Special editions. One got lost in the ether of your terabyte storage, but this would almost be the first show where I wouldn't have any titles to show, but just in the nick of time, yesterday on Saturday, this was one of the titles that came in the mail. Deep Impact.
I only have two things to show too. I mean, all the things I ordered, I had problems. I had problems this week, overall, just in general. But so Deep Impact came out, but not a lot of new big titles to drive sales. So it's not like physical media is coming to some abrupt ending. It's not. We just
And especially if since Deep Impact is a back catalog title, not the newest kid on the block, so the figure sales actually are telling about that.
yeah. Yes, they
since
are.
I've like you got not that many titles, why do we show just what we got this week?
Yeah, man.
Heroine.
Let's do it.
Beside Deep Impact, I got this thriller, which is, I believe it is on Shudder, but this is not from Shudder. It's from Welgo USA with Hannah John Kamen. The movie Unwelcome. So I hope it's good. Seen the trailer.
Is that a cat in the bag?
It's a cat in the back, Rob, but strangely enough, Rob, it comes with bonus features behind the scenes and a little making of. And I'm just a fan of Hannah John Kamen because I loved her in Killjoys. So I thought, okay, give it a try. And it is, I think, on Shudder in the States. The next one was, unfortunately, Rob, a double dipping because you probably remember I bought Le Pack de Loup, the French edition, the 4K edition.
Yep.
And of course, as expected, but I couldn't hold myself back, it didn't cut English subtitles. And I wasn't I should have been sure that it will be getting released in 4K in other
The French are
countries
still
as
trying to
well.
get back at you for World War II. That's why there's no German subtitles.
Exactly. Rob. So finally it came out here, and I just bought the Steelbook. Pack der Wölfe, Pack der Loup.
That's a
just as
cool looking.
Steelbook.
That's a nice steelbook, buddy.
Okay. So I can have subtitles that I can actually read. This is a 3D, so
Nice.
director's cut, UHD on Blu-ray, and bonus features. So I should have waited. The old lesson. Considering double dipping, but here it is, and I think it will come out in the States too at some point. But I don't know the distributor in the States.
Well,
for-
Studio Canal is doing a box set of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I just got it. It's out here as almost the same box set as in France, but I just got to accompany it just only the Steelbook. So these were my 3 purchases this week.
Well, I was supposed to get. I had orders canceled. I had problems. The only thing I got that I actually bought, the long delayed For All Mankind season
it's
1
out. Nice.
came out. Obviously, this comes out from Dazzler. There's no special features on this, but wanted to
But
get the
normally
Blu-rays.
they put out good qualities of the
Yeah,
TV stuff.
Bill Hunt said they look great. I love this show so much. To me,
too.
in my head canon, this is the precursor to the Star Trek universe. Ron Moore is doing it. I don't care. It doesn't have to be canonical, but to me, this is Star Trek. I love this show dearly, and I mean, it's funny because the cover really has nothing to do with the show, but it's a cool cover. I like it anyway. So great to have this.
Rob,
I'm
when
waiting for Volume 2.
When do we get the 4th season? Do you know anything?
Probably late in 2023. Bill Hunt and I had so much fun doing a Star Trek Picard after show. We're going to start doing an after show about For All Mankind and go through all 3 seasons leading up to season 4.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to do that. Very exciting. And then thank you to George Feltenstein. I got from Warner Archive, Looney Tunes Volume 1.
Yeah.
It's a
Nice.
tons of hair-raising fun in one wild collection. There's been so many iterations of these that have been released, but Warner Archive, and by the way, we'll talk about them a little later. Warner Archive, their upcoming releases, I see what George is doing. I see George Feltenstein's grand plan unfurling, and I'm so there for it. I am so there for it. And when you see what Warner Archive's upcoming releases are, like a lot of people will say, like, modern fans are like, okay, well, why don't they release more movies like The Hunger? Or give us some more modern genre titles. But it's like, but that's kind of what Warner Archive, I mean, they've done that, and they'll continue to do that. But they're classic releases, and when you see, we'll get to them in the news, but the things, they're putting out some madness, like true, over-the-top movies that people are, once they realize what Warner Archive is doing, I hope that Max brings back a Warner Archive channel, because the things that they've been restoring collectively are a lot of fun. And when you see, and I think I could see people getting together and having Warner Archive Saturday night parties when they invite 10 friends over and watch some of this classic, because the stuff that Warner Archive is putting out, especially this new slate of films, is as the kids say, Dieter, as we get 1 year older, fire. So,
and I hope that from the Looney Tunes perspective, there's not shenanigans as with the Max Fleischer cartoons on Blu-ray.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. George Felsenstein and the team of people at Warner Archive would not allow that. George knows what's up. I mean, he would never. He always gets the highest bit rates. He always makes sure that the quality is the best. They're not scrubbing grain. They're giving you the best archival versions of these films ever. So for him, it's not just a labor of true love, but it's also, I mean, George Felsenstein is really interested in preserving the cinematic legacy of American and international cinema. So he would never, I'm sure that no one is more upset about the Fleischer Superman cartoons than he is. So
can only imagine.
Yeah.
And even if we didn't show that many stuff, I will show more, because when Rob did his nice show about going back through physical media, I have thought, well, what can I do? And I jumped deep into my archive shop and I put out some special editions from the DVD days for later to show, which I think I don't have shown any of them. I think so. But considering it's over 100 shows, perhaps I have shown them. But I hope not.
First of all, I did want to acknowledge, I don't even know, do you guys celebrate Mother's Day in Germany?
Yeah, of course.
So is today Mother's Day in Germany?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think we need to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my mom, Nancy Burnett. One, she adopted me. I was bought and paid for, taken home from the hospital. I lived with her since, I was like a week old. And if it wasn't for my mom's constant support of my fanatical interests, I mean, I'm sure that my mother had to keep quiet, just what a weird kid and how obsessive I was as a child. Not in an ADHD or on the spectrum sort of a way, but as a connoisseur, as an imagination connoisseur, my mom probably had a hard time raising me. But without my mom was not particularly interested in the things that I was interested in, but she was always supportive of my interests. And that's why, opening night, she took me to see Logan's Run when I was 9 years old at the John Dan Cinema. She yanked me out of the theater after the first 10 minutes of the second movie, Fantastic Planet, because I've told people before, the great animated René Laloux's animated Fantastic Planet, one of my favorite science fiction movies ever. 10 minutes in, my mother said, "I will not sit here and watch a movie where human beings are treated like ants." And she took my 7-year-old sister's hand and my hand and dragged us out of the theater and took us home. And it took me 4 or 5 more years before I could see that movie again, but I finally saw it. But thank you, Mom, for taking me to Logan's Run. And she would always go to the big movies with me. And when I was, for my bar mitzvah, my parents did buy me my very first piece of physical media, which was, of course, Halloween on VHS. And they bought me a great skateboard, too, so thank you for that. And, my mom, if not for my parents' constant nurturing of my extreme interests, and, my mom would do things like I would snoop in her closet because she always had stuff for me in her closet. She found this out later. But, I knew, one day I bought, I used my allowance and I bought Star Trek 4. I was collecting the James Blish Star Trek books. My mom had already bought them for me, all the ones that were out, and they were waiting. And she'd buy stuff for me and have it in her closet and would give it to me for my birthday and the holidays. But sometimes she'd buy stuff for me months in advance. And then I came home from school one day and she'd put I think it was all the way up to Star Trek 9, but there were 4 more of the books that were remaining that were out, and they were only 95 cents or something, so it wasn't like it was a lot of money. But my mom had put them in my bookshelf because she didn't want me to spend my allowance money on books and things she thought she could give me for the holidays or my birthday. So shout out to Nancy Burnett for adopting me. I mean, She's 84 years old. She's still doing well. She's living in Seattle still. So shout out to my mom. Do you want to say anything to your mom? You can say it in German.
Yeah, but unfortunately, she would love to watch this show, but yeah, English is very, 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 very limited. Even more.
Perhaps
than
better
mine.
she didn't see this episode then. You probably have to
So
explain what
she
pegging and
always-
femdom is.
So she always jumps in at the start, and then at some point we'll go to watch to normal German television. And
I see. You mean this
speaking of
isn't normal German television?
normal?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
the old ways. She watches the old ways, through cable, not
Right.
that streaming stuff. And speaking, you said you've got your first VHS back in the day from your mom. I remember I've told you Terminator 2 is my favorite film, and I have almost all iterations. Speaking of DVD, HD DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, Laserdisc. The only thing that I was missing is actually a VHS of it, and this I got from my good friend CP. He got me his edition. This was actually the VHS edition back in the day for the extended cut on VHS. He bought it back in the day on a...
Wow, is it
store.
letterboxed or is it just...
No, Rob, this was the crate. The crate, yes, I said that. The crate pen and scan version of the movie in 4x3. So this was the first time I've seen the extended edition for Terminator 2. So thanks, CP. He got me...
Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on. Are you telling me you'd never seen the extended edition of Terminator 2 ever until you watched this VHS tape?
This was the first time, Rob, back in the day.
Back in the day. I thought you meant you hadn't seen it until you just got this now.
No, Rob.
Okay.
This was the first time I've seen...
I misunderstood. I was going to get apoplectic right now.
And this, Rob, is just like the Laserdisc. It came from Pioneer. This was the NTSC tape. He ordered from Berlin. There was a specific store called Videodrome, actually, Rob, where you could buy, the horror stuff, and they got this one too. So this was the first time we were lucky to watch the extended edition. And actually, Rob, just thinking about it, I believe it was the first time I heard Arnold speak in his original voice.
Wow.
Which was, of course, an eye-opener for me,
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. Did this video store have a clay wall where you could chain girls up and whip them?
It was in Berlin, Rob. We were never there, Rob. So
you never went there? Well, if it was in Berlin, I'd like to believe that in this video store, just like its namesake movie Videodrome, there was a giant clay wall and you could chain up girls and you could whip them or do whatever you wanted. And they would broadcast it on a local cable access show.
But they had that horror stuff, that was censored from somewhere, The internet wasn't a thing back then, strangely enough,
Go figure. I thought everything was permitted in Germany. Very naked lunch.
So now it's way more easier to get the stuff. But you still, of course, have to be careful. There's still censorship going on here. No?
Now, do you have my VHS player still works? Do you have a work?
I have no VHS player. This is just for having it, just to complete a collection. Nothing more. And it came, as you have seen, it came with the second VHS, which came with a little bit of with bonus materials. You got the second VHS where they've got. Let me just see. There was some behind the scenes T2 more than meets the eye was on the second VHS tape.
All right,
but this was an NTSC tape.
All right,
so
that's good.
Back in the day. Okay.
All right then.
Okay. So where do we go? We have 2 letters, Rob. I have the live chat and, of course, special editions to show.
And we have news. We have a lot of good news to talk about. Good news today. All right, if you got letters, man. By the way, I want to give a shout out to our friend David Kokel. I did get his book. I forgot to bring it down to show it, but you showed his book already.
Yeah.
I did get his book, and it was he personalized it to me.
Oh, nice.
And how we inspired him to do it, and that was always one of the mission statements of this channel kind of is to always encourage people, imagination connoisseurs, to, if they've ever dreamt of making something, whether it's a film, whether it's a book, writing a book, whatever it is, to do it. And it's always great to see people actually make something. I didn't realize it was about an alien invasion.
Oh, I just read the synopsis, but it was not. I was not sure if what the deep dive.
Yeah, and so I'm actually gonna read it. So
Haley's Question is the title.
Haley's Question. So there you go. So thank you, David Kokel,
Nice.
for sending me the book. That was very nice of you. And like you alluded to that, he sent me one, and sure enough, it came on Monday. So
Nice.
very cool. So you have letters.
Yeah, I have 2 letters, Rob. The first one comes. This is the longer. Saved it for the second one. The first one comes from Pedro Ferrera, and he says, "Hello, Rob and Dieter. Well, I think it's time to come clean and tell you both something that you might not be happy with me about. In fact, for Rob, when he hears what I have to say, he may want to park his shuttlecraft in a completely different zone. As you know, Rob, I have previously had issues with the picture size on my new 4K Blu-ray player. I could not understand why the images it was providing were not 16:9 on a 4:3 Blu-ray output. For example, I was losing those thick bars you would get with the 2:35:1 presentation. As you can probably gather, I was watching material in what many would say is the wrong way. It's just my 4K player doesn't have a 4:3 output, only a 16:9 one, so everything is in a full widescreen output. I guess you would say lesson learned, except I actually like watching film and TV in a 4:3 output in a 16:9 TV picture output. I like seeing those thin bars on 185 1:1 movies. I like seeing those thick bars for 235:1 movies because it looks cinematic. I'm prepared to put my visit, but I shouldn't expect Panasonic DPU-B820 to release a patch any time to add that support, as my viewing habits are a bit in the minority. Hey, at least I didn't say I preferred watching 4:3 via 4:3, then you really be disappointed with me. Is this a cause for concern? Am I exaggerating for comedic effect? Because I know this kind of thing would only offend real movie geeks. Is the way I view things reductive to the overall viewing experience because I prefer a more cinematic feel? Discuss and please put away the phaser rifles. Pedro, I'm not really sure about your letter. So if you have big black bars on 235:1, this is actually correct, the correct setting. If you would have no bars on a 235, this would be wrong, but it hasn't to be only the Blu-ray player setting. Sometimes the TV does something like this. So both have to be on the correct setting. So actually, I didn't know if you're watching it wrong or watching it correctly, considering your letter.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'll give you an example. Like when on Star Trek: The Next Generation, or not Enterprise, but Star Trek: The Next Generation is a show that was finished in 4:3. Well, when you have it, when you buy the Blu-ray image is, what is it, 178? Or 185. It is 178, and it goes to the top of the screen, but it's got black bars on the left and right. So and that is correct. It's still in a 178 container, 185 container, but the image is so. He did say he's watching DVDs. DVDs are obviously an older format. So if you're watching older DVDs, they wouldn't be 185. It depends, but you should be able to adjust your screen, like whether it's zoom, full frame. You can adjust your screen to watch it properly. Like, to me, if you're watching a 4:3 image, cropped or stretched somehow, I can't even begin to, because it's distorted. The picture is distorted, And so that's why widescreen TVs were, especially older sets, where you had different formats that you could adjust to. But a 4:3 image is a 4:3 image, depending on how you're watching it. As long as it maintains its 4:3, if you're stretching out an image that way, you're distorting faces, and it's wrong. You know,
The newest example, Rob, would be Zack Snyder's Justice League, which came in the IMAX format,
Right.
which is actually almost 4:3.
yeah, Yep.
Where it did get black bars left and right, and many people were a little bit upset about it. And of course, I have worker colleagues, who use the TV then to watch it 16:9.
Yeah, I mean, I can. There are people that you can zoom in and fill up your frame. The only thing is with 4:3 images, I wouldn't want to stretch out the 4:3 images because then everything is distorted. Faces are longer, and so I mean, I don't quite know what Pedro what he is actually doing, but he mentioned DVD, and maybe he is just watching things stretched out or something. That would. Yes, you're ejected from my shuttle bay if you're doing that. If you're watching 4:3 images that aren't where you're stretching out the image, then you're ejected from my shuttle bay, Pedro.
And what I always say, Rob, to friends of mine, or I'm a sound freak, Rob. And if someone comes to me, Dieter, would you help me to set up, my 5.1 system? I say, of course, totally, no problem. But I always say, it's your speakers. If you don't like how it sounds later, if you want more sub, if you want more this, change it. Change it. It's yours. I'm just doing what I think would be sounding okay, but it's your setup. If you don't like it, it would be just, and we are always a little bit a creature of habit, Rob. If you would come here, and fiddling around with my settings just a little bit there, a little bit there, and I would watch it, so let's say 2 or 3 months, and I would get used to it somehow, and then I would find out, the setting is actually wrong, It's always tough then to go back, as we are a little bit a creature of habit, considering.
Yeah, I mean,
quality.
I do think that you have to adjust your surround system to the room that it's in. Like, for instance, I spent a long time tweaking the sound in our media room. But the media room's relatively small. Yeah. And like I was thinking about putting a second sub in there, and I have I'm running a 7.1 Atmos system. I could be running a system that has a lot more speakers. I only have rear surrounds. I don't even have a back center surround, and the problem is I tried it with a back center surround and it got muddy. It because the room isn't big enough to support left and right surrounds and rear surrounds, it just isn't, and it started to get muddy. And the way I have the room set up, I have 2 Atmos speakers, and then I've got rear surrounds, and you get great sound separation for that room. If the room was twice as big, I'd add a second sub. But right now, it's perfect for the room it's in because you hear everything, and the dialogue is crisp. I mean, it sounds amazing, and that's what you want. You want it to sound
even Chris Nolan dialogue, Rob. Even Chris Nolan
dialogue to crash or play. But that's the thing, is you want to set up, because a lot of people put too much bass. There's a tendency to put too much bass. Yeah, and I sat there, dude, and I was doing that because bass is something, a subwoofer is something sometimes you have to kind of earball it. Where you have to, and I was doing that. I was cranking it just a little bit, in little increments, and I found the perfect sweet spot for the room. Some people might want more bass, but more bass, when you start rattling the glass, if your bass causes other sounds to happen, like window panes to rattle, it's too much bass for that room.
Yeah.
Because then you're hearing rattling windows. And I'm like, what you want is the sound to be tight as a drum. So every single speaker is working either well in tandem, or if you're just hearing dialogue in the front and nothing else, you want that dialogue to be crisp, as if somebody is even standing in front of you. So it's really... But yes, everybody's different. But I would never...
Yeah.
Look, here's the problem. going over, I will say this, going over to other people's houses and looking at their home theater systems is one of the most maddening and aggravating things.
I can imagine.
Motion smoothing, your sound system, your sound field, because people don't know. And then when you go in and you start adjusting things, they freak out anyway. Like somebody set this up professionally. I'm like, the morons that are setting, unless you're paying high-end people that know what they're doing, whoever sets up your shit didn't do it right. I promise you. And then when you go into, it's like fingers on a chalkboard. I've had people go, come in and see my theater system. And I'm like, your motion smoothing's on. And they don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or I sit there and nod and smile and great.
Because out-of-the-box setting are mostly not correct.
No.
Mostly.
No.
And my friend Patrick, my boss, came with a problem a little while back to me. He bought a 4K player, but he doesn't have a surround system, so the sound just comes through the TV. And he bought Megan on Blu-ray, but he didn't get any sound from it. So I thought, okay, what is your setting in it? And I said to him, just switch from bitstream to PCM sound. I believe the Dolby Atmos track, your TV doesn't know how to handle that Dolby Atmos track that is on the disc.
Yeah.
Switch it to PCM. He did it, and the sound was there. It was not gone, and he's happy about it. So it's depending a little bit on the setup that you have.
Did you yell at him for not having at least a sound bar? Come on.
No, Rob, no.
He's your boss, man. Maybe you should buy him a nice sound bar for his birthday.
Okay. I will make a mental note about it. So, like I said, I'm not really sure, considering Pedro's letter, is he actually watching correct or is he watching?
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. I mean, like, with 4:3, here's the thing. I got in my mind, he was actually distorting the image to fill the screen up, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's what first when I read it, but then he said, no, I got black bars. Okay, that is correct. So
yeah, I mean, a
4:3
image should have big black bars on the side.
Yeah.
Like when you watch Star Trek, there's big, or Zack Snyder's.
And if not, it's just a setup. It's the player or the TV. Okay, both have to be correct setting. If the player is correct, then perhaps the TV does this thing. Does he just goes to widescreen, whatever you put out? It's always both have to be.
It's true.
Correct.
Okay, letter number 2 then.
Letter number 2 comes from Peter Jakavone. I hope I say his name correct. And his subject is getting Dieter onto his slow horse about the German 4K media books. Okay. Hi, Rob and Dieter. Thanks very much for reading my letter from October 2022 on your April 2023 show.
Hey, we say, better late than never. Come on now.
Never. The timely references didn't make much sense, and my wit was mauled. But I'm grateful and gratified because I thought that the PGS website had long since defecated my inconsequential letter out into the phantom zone. This raises some interesting hygienical questions about shard imprisonment. Anyway, as Cheech Marin says it in Ghostbusters 2, better late than never, like Rob
That's right.
did here. This week, I think we should pick Dieter's brains. But before that, can I try to do a little housekeeping? It might turn out to be useful to new members of the channel. I've always thought I was a member of the PGS community, although I have to admit, apart from tips, no money has ever changed hands. I'm not proud. For months and months, I've tried to join the community, whatever that entails. When I press the link on the PGS website, it says it sends me to YouTube. When I press the join links on the YouTube Burnettwork main page, it sends me to, wait for it, YouTube. Help a brother out. I want to give you money. Granted, I'm a Luddite moron, but is there someone I can email for tech help? Normally, I'm just stopping here. Normally, if you watch a show like this one, there should be a join button at the top of YouTube, where you can join. Perhaps not go on Rob's channel specifically, just watch the show. There should be a join button where you can join them. Am I wrong, Rob?
To be honest, that's a good question. Yeah, you should be able. It should be on the main page. The main page of YouTube. As a matter of fact, let me find out, because I've never joined my own channel. I should find out. So if you go to your channel on...
He says if he pushes the join button on your main page, that he just goes through to YouTube.
So if you join... well, no, because, okay, what should happen... Wow, I made a whole video about becoming a member. I don't even remember making this. There's even music.
Yeah.
Wow. I made this a long time ago. But yeah, so if you hit the join button, it should send you... You can join this channel and become a member of the channel for 99 cents if you want. You know? And so one of the things that we're doing... You know, we are going to launch a panel show called the Imagination Connoisseur Show. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we're bringing back whining about movies, and you're gonna be sick of me. And then we've got new shows like Lana Ewan Reviews, and as I said, I love Lana and I love Alan.
Yeah.
They're two of my favorite people. I wish they were my best friends for like the last 20 years, but their work is incredible. And I want to have more of that on the channel because, you know, it kind of goes against the YouTube analytics to have a bunch of people on your channel. I mean, and I've noticed it's kind of affecting the analytics of the channel, although things are down all over the place. But I just want to do it for fun. I mean, I want to celebrate. There's a strike on. Who knows when you can make movies again? And it's so hard to get movies off the ground these days. I think that focusing on this channel and make this channel truly a celebration of Imagination Connoisseurs, and I'm going to start making it like when new stuff like Lana's reviews, I'll make members only for a couple days first, not with this review because I want it to go up. I want to like build her up more and then make her stuff members only for a few days. But then I'm going to also start making members only content, and we already do the members only chat, which was we did one for 4.5 hours yesterday. That was a lot of fun. So becoming a member, but it should be when you hit join, it should pop up that you might have to be logged into YouTube.
That could be correct, Rob.
You might have to be logged into YouTube, and if you're just so that's the only thing because as I went to my own channel, I even forgot that I made a video that I pop up. I don't like my hair in that video. I got to fix that. And it was like I had done 500 episodes of Robservation. So you were able to become, because you couldn't be, memberships to the channel were new. Yeah. You know, they were new, and that was something new, and I didn't know it. And it's pretty great. We got hundreds of members of the channel, so hundreds of people support the channel, and you can support the channel at any level. But I also want to make it worthwhile, so people that support the channel for like $25 a month or something.
Didn't you have to reach 30,000 subscribers, something like that, to get memberships?
I think
free. That the membership button came to your channel added.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. And it was
like I said, Peter, perhaps not go to the main. Just watch a video. In the video, there should be a join button, and perhaps try it on different devices. If you have problem doing it on the laptop, just trying from your smartphone, perhaps that will be a different.
It's funny. Just now, I was like, wow, I made a video about becoming a member. So that's cool. And speaking of is that the end of the letter? Do we get to the end?
No, Rob. This was just half the letter, Rob.
Oh, okay.
Half the letter. Okay. Try it again, Peter. Try it again. So finally, my book about the gangster and sexploitation films of Seishun Suzuki is available on Amazon. The Kindle version is absolutely free. Fellow PGSters, please consider taking 30 seconds to download the ebook from Amazon, because it will directly affect the ability of other writers to publish books like this. That is, serious studies about cult movies from top-level publishers. It's 10 years of my life. It'd be really grateful. Here are some handcrafted illustrations for you, and you can download the Kindle from this link right here. He gave us a link, but it's always tough if you put out links in letters to give those links further to the members. And just for fellow members, here's a free link to the PDF version for that special handful of people who like PDFs. Then he goes on. Okay, thanks for your patience. And here's the important matter at hand. Every week, I think we should be getting DIETER onto the low horse and use this linguistic acumen to our physical media advantage. Let me give you an example. Recently, a 4K UHD media book has appeared of yet another Charles Bronson European co-production, Rider on the Rain or Der aus dem Regen kam for the Germans. It has one 4K disc and two Blu-ray discs. Now a brief investigation on Blu-ray.com shows there is an English cut and superior French cut. So here's the question, which cut of the film is on the actual 4K disc of the German release? And if it is the European cut, does it have English subtitles? I have no extra curricular authority to give out homework assignments, but maybe DIETER can help out on this one. These media books are fucking expensive. Yes, they are. P.S. I always send a tip with letters for your information, though they might get sent separately. Unfortunately, Peter, at the moment, I can't help you out there. Which version is on that 4K media book, but I will try to look into it. And even if it's the version that you want, English subtitles is always tricky. If it's not a normal US release that's released here. But I will try to look into that. I'm making a note here. And perhaps can get back to you next week if I did find more out about Riders on the Rain. Okay.
Riders
Do you know
on
anything
the
about
Rain.
that movie with Charles Bronson, Rob? Rider on the
I don't
Rain?
know that movie.
Okay. Der aus dem
I
Regen
don't
kam.
know
Okay.
that movie.
We'll have to look into it.
Hey, so are you a music fan?
Oh, yeah.
I know you're a music fan. Did you watch Eurovision, dude?
No. Because we got last place, Rob. Last place for Germany.
You know what? You said
Last
it.
Place.
I didn't.
Last place. Again, Rob. 2 times in a row.
Let me out. Yeah, Phantom Zone.
okay.
You got Phantom Zone, buddy. I wasn't going to rub it in, but, okay.
Rob, I really don't care about the Eurovision Song Contest.
We don't have. I understand. We don't have this in America.
It's a great idea, Rob. The only thing for me, seldomly, an act from that contest will really have a long, outstanding career. There was, of course, ABBA was one of the few exceptions.
Sure.
They won back the Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo back in the day. But normally, often, those artists seldomly have a long career or long, outstanding hit after hit, So I'm not really following. I wasn't even aware of it, but my family made me aware. Or my friend who bought me, who sent me his VHS tape, he said, "Oh, we got last place, Lord of the Lost," or how the German band was called. So okay, and second time in a row, Rob. So we are constant, Rob. What do you want more from Germans? We are constant.
Did you hear that apparently the Ukrainian, the Ukrainians won last year, right?
Yeah, and it's always being held at the place from the winner, but of course they couldn't do it in the Ukraine, so they did it in Liverpool.
Yeah, they did in Liverpool in support, but like Putin, Russian forces bombed the hometown of the Eurovision, the Ukrainian entry. I mean, what? Talk about get the hell out, dude. What are you doing, busting up a kind of it's just like, really, are you that petty? What a schmuck that guy is. I'm sorry. How many hundreds of thousands of people are dead in that war? For what? Putin, for what, dude? Come on. What I want, why don't you concentrate on releasing the rich legacy of Russian films in 4K? Why don't you, rather than blow shit up and kill a bunch of people, why don't you celebrate your own culture and export it to the world? Because there's a lot of Russian science fiction movies I would like to get in 4K that I've never even seen. I'm just saying. It's not a laughing matter. I don't mean to make light of how many people have lost their lives and how much culture has been destroyed.
In the live chat, Modesty Maltese, sorry, Dieter. Germany did not deserve to be the last. There were way worse songs than the German one on the song contest, And Rob, you always have the feeling, it's a little bit of neighborly. Oh, we get our neighbors, 10 points. It's a little bit of a back and forth, And I haven't seen it, so I can't comment if the Sweden was the best song. Probably yes, they're always good, the Swedes. So I don't know, Rob. I don't know, but I haven't followed it. We can only go up from there, Rob.
You know that. I mean, there you go. You can only go up from there. Let me jump into some super chats here.
Okay, Rob. Yeah. Totally forgot about it.
Sigmar became a member of the channel. Thank you, Sigmar.
Nice.
Dylan, let's see if I can see. Pusilowski, I think maybe became a new member. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, Dylan. P. Stutz became he upgraded his membership. Now I would like to give a shout out. I don't know if P. Stutz, Mr. Stutz, saw this, but he sent in a $50 tip the other day.
Ooh,
just thanking me for answering his Snyderverse question. So, Mr. Stutz, that is very much appreciated. Thank you so much for supporting the channel in the way that you do. And that was a very unexpected, delightful thing. By the way, if you want to leave, it's weird. People have been asking me about tips as opposed to super chats because, like, even John changed things over. So like, if people want to tip the channel, there is a link in the description. I don't usually push that stuff, but people have been asking lately because I guess John changed over super chats and tips. So whenever John's been doing all these things that I've been watching what John's been doing on his channel, but there's a lot of changes over there, so people are like, what? But tips, most of what you tip goes to the channel, whereas super chats, a lot of that goes to goes to YouTube. So there's a link in the description. So Mr. Stutz, thank you so much for that. That was very nice. And thanks for becoming an upgraded member. Ubiquitous, I love that. Ubiquitous has become, what a great name. Ubiquitous has become a member of the channel. Thank you, Ubiquitous. 200 Watt Studio says, hey Rob, did you get my Twitter DM last week about Kino's 4K release date of To Live and Die in LA?
I don't know what the Twitter tweet was from 200
Watt Studio. Look, man, I've sent you an invitation. I expect you to honor it. You're coming over to my house. We're going to watch To Live and Die in LA in 4K at ear-splitting volume, and we're going to watch all the extras. Because I know, I had to suffer his slings and arrows about To Live and Die in LA. He's not a big fan of the film. I'm going to turn him into one. I'm going to put you through some conversion therapy, and you're going to become a To Live and Die in LA worshiper.
That could be a nice discussion, actually, Rob.
Actually, that'll be a supplemental video. We'll record a video together.
And your critics scored about To Live and Die in LA?
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Come on over and buy a puppy. So Swift178 became a member of the channel. Thank you for that. Brad Lake just submitted a super chat for your birthday. Gandalf the Wolf says, happy birthday, Rob. Well, my birthday is tomorrow. Dieter's is actually today. Mine is the 16th, 1968.
Ooh,
I'm watching from the hospital, going to have heart surgery. I love your shows. Hi, Dieter.
Fingers crossed.
Gandalf the Wolf, fingers crossed for you. Have a good, I'm a year older. Your birthday, you had the same birthday as the late, great John Schnepp. We were both born the same year, but he also had the 16th. I hope that everything is right. Hit us back next week and tell us how the heart surgery went. And I'm sure you're going to pull right through. I'm glad you're watching this show. Although, I hope this is not the last thing you watch, because maybe this shouldn't be the last thing you watch before you go in and have heart surgery. No, as long as we're putting a smile on your face on this day, hopefully we're doing that. And I hope you have some really good nurses, if you know what I'm saying. And I think you do. But you know what? You are Gandalf the Wolf. After heart surgery, do you come back how Gandalf the Grey became Gandalf the White after fighting the Balrog? So if Gandalf the Wolf has heart surgery, do you get to come back as a bigger animal, like Gandalf the tiger or Gandalf the bear? Maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
Next week.
5 Toast became a member of the channel. Thank you, 5 Toast. Irene Jobson says, happy Mother's Day to all those other mothers out there. Hope you have your buttons and needles ready. Well, Irene Jobson is herself a mother. And I'm sure she's liked all the innuendo talk today. So, Irene, happy Mother's Day to you. You are a great new addition to this channel and a fine imagination connoisseur. So we are happy to have you. And say hi to your husband for me again and tell him he's a lucky man. Tom Jr. Jackson gifted a Burnettwork membership out there. So
thanks,
thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Tom. Undead Sick, our friend Undead Sick from Holland, says, suggestion for whining about movies when it comes back. It is coming back this next coming week. Paul Verhoeven's Benedetta. Ooh, that's a great idea.
Ooh,
I would like to discuss something with Elizabeth. Well, you know what? That's really good. We were going to do Everything Everywhere All at Once, but it's been so long. And, you know, I've been renovating my let's get my physical media so you could actually walk into it and then turn around and see everything. Although I took out the 4K and put them in there. It's there. You can see the 4K. So I'm going to start doing the show from over there. So you'll have my physical media collection behind me. So, and I can get to everything, which will be good. So that's exciting. So that's a great idea. Undead Sick, that's a great idea. 5 Dot Toast sends in a super chat and says, happy stereo birthday, Rob and Dieter. Well, thank you. Adventure Square is a new member of the channel. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. 6 Scale Mafia, my man Anthony. We had a great stream last night, by the way. Brother cousin 6 Scale Mafia and I had a great stream. Gifted 5 Burnettwork memberships.
Ooh,
thank you for that. Rudy became a new member of the channel. I love that movie. Anthony Mendoza also became a member of the channel. James Wheeler says, Rider on the Rain was directed by Rene Clement, who directed Beauty and the Beast with John Cocteau. Wow. Well, now I want to see that. I've never seen Rider on the Rain. And I just butchered Mr. Clement's last name. So that's exciting.
Butchering names is part of the game. Yeah.
That's right. It is totally. We butcher names all the time. Our friend David Crabtree has sent in a tip, and David Crabtree says, greetings on this fine day. This winter, I made the conscious decision to build my physical media library. This past week, I picked up the 4K versions of Air Force One, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, It's a Wonderful Life, and Dazed and Confused. Now, that's a great haul of 4K titles. Very diverse. Diverse, that's good. I like that. That, by the way, the Air Force One 4K is great. I have that. Remember, I got the Steelbook. So good. Yeah. And Dazed and Confused, It's a Wonderful Life, and The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. That's a great. That's great. So should we? You want to hear the news?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, in case anyone didn't know, Kino Lorber has announced to live and die in LA. Yeah, I know. I gotta rub it in. Comes out July 18th on 4K. Woohoo! Very exciting. And now we're going to look at the sales figures. Tops. I mean, we know when. The top 10 Blu-ray sellers. No, this is just Blu-ray. 80 for Brady, Jesus Revolution, Justice League, Cocaine Bear, Dragon Ball Super. This is why the 4K sales are down. I just want to say, right? I mean, that's all we're getting. Not great. Not a whole lot of titles there. Then we get down to Deep Impact. Deep Impact, which is a 4K release. Plane, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, Megan, Top Gun, Maverick. We just don't have a lot of stuff coming out. So don't think the sky is falling when it comes to 4K, because it is not. Then we have these are the top 5. Now, in all, these are the top 5 home media sellers in all formats. That means DVD, Blu-ray, 4K. 80 for Brady is number 1. I mean, it's no wonder no one's buying 4K, because I'll tell you, I don't know anybody who's buying 80 for Brady in 4K unless, they want to celebrate International Women's Day or something like I was talking about. Yeah, I don't think it is either. It's just Blu-ray. So, Jesus Revolution, Cocaine Bear, Champions, and Megan, that's a little lackluster. And then we get to 3D, our favorite, Wizard of Oz and Top Gun. I mean, Top Gun and Wizard of Oz, these are 3D titles that have literally been out for years, and people are still buying them. But that gives me hope. Then we have the top 5 4K bestsellers, which we already got into. We already showed this. Deep Impact. I mean, Deep Impact, deep catalog title. Star Wars A New Hope in 4K. That's, maybe they just released single versions of them, but it's Star Wars. I mean, this is old school. Yeah, maybe they could be the new Steelbooks. It's just, we're not doing so well. Not doing so well in terms of new titles. Now, this is exciting. These are the upcoming. I think these are maybe the July Warner Archive releases. I talked earlier about Warner Archive. I want you guys to look at the kinds of things that Warner Archive is releasing. Pay attention here because this is pretty great. So Warner Archive, we've got Angel Face with Robert Mitchum and the great Gene Simmons from, of course, the Star Trek episode The Drumhead Gene Simmons, not Kiss Gene Simmons, of course, Spartacus Gene Simmons. So this is a great title, but a little bit of an exploitation. Howard Hughes produced this, Angel Face. Great title. Howard Hughes is involved. Great, Robert Mitchum and Gene Simmons, great cast. I saw this movie like a long time ago. I remember nothing about it, so I can't wait to get it. But now look at this. Caged. The story of a woman's prison today. I mean, first of all, look at this. This is exploitation, classic exploitation at its finest. You're not going to get Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS here, but the story of a woman's prison today, look at this. Lurid exploitation. Who doesn't want this? God bless Warner Archive for going in this direction. And, this is great stuff. Now look at this. The Damned Don't Cry. Call me cheap? The Damned with Joan Crawford right there. Who doesn't look at this and go, Warner Archive is putting together the greatest collection of classic films from Warner. They're going full on exploitation. Who doesn't want to watch this? You call me cheap? The Damned Don't Cry. And then we've got, don't laugh, Dangerous When Wet. Dangerous When Wet. And of course, this is Esther Williams. It's a Technicolor musical. Dangerous When Wet. You know that Irene Jobson's laughing her ass off right now. I know she is. Dangerous When Wet. Look at these titles. All you have to do is line these up and you're going to put a smile on your face. Again, George Feltenstein knows what the hell he's doing. Dangerous When Wet. I've been saying that since I was in high school. And look at this. Howard Hawks, The Land of the Pharaohs. The barbarous love that left Egypt's great pyramid as its wondrous landmark. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Look at these covers. Do you notice a recurring theme in these covers? The Cancel Collection. My God, Warner Archive. And then, of course, and if you think that they're being cheeky, what do they follow it up with? Spencer Tracy and Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. So, once you've got your Cancel Collection with Caged, with The Damned Don't Cry, with Dangerous When Wet, with The Land of the Pharaohs. Who doesn't want to go to that land? Let me tell you. You got a little what are they saying with this image? I don't know. What is the coding here for all of you savvy? Oh my God. In CinemaScope, my God, that's right. Who doesn't want this? And then, of course, The Old Man and the Sea, which is great. I've never actually seen this, and I would want to see it. Especially because if you watch Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris, Corey Stoll played Ernest Hemingway, and he was so good. And I'm down. And let's see, here's some new 4K stuff. Look at this. I can't believe this movie's 30 years old. 30th anniversary 4K edition of A Bronx Tale, Chaz Palminteri's film. I love this movie. I think this movie's great. I can't wait to get this in 4K. So that's good. Here's a Russian, I believe it's a Russian science fiction movie, brand new, or a horror movie called The Forgotten Experiment. I know nothing about this. It's coming out, but it's got a Russian director. I'll watch this. I don't know what it is. Russia, if you just join the fucking modern age and start concentrating on building up your own rich cultural history and joining the 21st century and becoming a team player, come on. But anyway, this is a Russian film of some kind. I don't know what it's about. I want to see it. It's Cat in the Bag. Bring it on. Then we have from Kino Lorber. This is one of my... Now, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I really like this movie. Max von Sydow is of course the proprietor of this store. The book I thought was overlong. I've never seen the cover. I thought the book was overlong, but I really like this adaptation. I don't know if it's top tier, but it's I want to see this in 4K. Kino Lorber again. That means they'll send it to me, which is great. Looking forward to that. So thank you, Kino Lorber. And if they would ship to you, Dieter, I'd.
The second cover beneath it, you see the Ed Harris.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that is absolutely. They'll have
different cover variations.
They've been doing it though. Kino Lorber's been doing the different cover variations. So God bless you, Kino Lorber. Love that. God bless you. God bless. From Via Vision, our friends, Kelvin Wellborn. I'll have to order this myself so he doesn't have to get it for me. But look at this. The Prophecy Collection. All 5. Are you going to get the Prophecy Collection? I love the first one. Yeah, why not? That's the answer is yes. 5, yeah. Can you believe that? And then, of course, I mean, the Via Vision stuff's pricey, but good. It's good, And then this, Park Chan-wook's, they've done a new, Neon is releasing theatrically a 4K remaster of Park Chan-wook's Old Boy. Old Boy, the original Old Boy, being remastered and theatrically released in 4K, which means I'm sure we're going to get. Is Old Boy's out in 4K some places, isn't it? Is it
in Germany here, Rob? It's out here in Germany.
Yeah, so I'd love to be able to buy it domestically. It's coming out, so that's cool. Now this next one, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it, but I mean, some people might. The Toxic Avenger Collection in 4K, in UHD, because God bless you. No, we don't know where the remake is, but hey, here you go. The Toxic Avenger Collection is coming out August 29th. Is this something Trash Panda would buy?
With the second one back in the day, and even the first one, but I don't remember the third or the fourth.
So, are you going to buy this set?
Depends on the price, Rob. Perhaps a little bit. And it comes on the Schnäppchen side. Perhaps.
Yeah, if it's on the Schnäppchen side. Now, this next one, I love this movie. We know it here in the West as Contempt. It's a great film. La Méprise. This is Jean-Luc Godard's masterpiece, Contempt, starring, of course, Brigitte Bardot. Hey, it's about making movies. But this is part of their Vintage World Cinema Collection in 4K. I love this movie. Jack Palance is in this movie. This is a must-own for me. I can't wait to get it. I had an amazing Contempt poster that I had to sell, but it's great. But I love this film. Can't wait to get it. Coming out. And then finally, bringing up the rear, another classic film that I first saw in film school at USC, but I love it, and that is John Garfield in Force of Evil. Love this noir film, Force of Evil. Got to get this movie in 4K. Kino Lorber restoring this in 4K, and I love the fact that we're getting these 4K restorations. Yes, but I think they're putting it out. I think it was for. Hang on, let me check. Let me make sure you're right.
Is it just a 4K restoration, but just a Blu-ray?
Oh man, I hope you know what. You know what? I thought it was a 4K restoration, but you could be right. Let me.
Yeah, could be, Rob, but it still could be only a Blu-ray.
Yeah, let me just make sure that it's not only a Blu-ray. So I want to give people accurate information.
Yeah.
So that's right. Thank you for pointing that out. That was not. Hang on. It is a 4K restoration, so it is not. It's going to be in Blu-ray. But anyway, hey, it's a restoration. Yeah. It's not. I still want it.
Always a good thing. Yeah.
So you're correct. Thank you for pointing that out. I was mistaken. It wasn't in 4K. So there you go.
We're always thinking about 4K restoration automatically, Rob. It will be.
Yeah, I know. It's. I know. So a lot of good stuff. I mean, I think that a lot of good stuff this week. A lot of diverse.
Perfect.
I can't wait. We're getting a lot of great stuff. Dude. A lot of fun stuff coming down the pike. So there you go.
Nice.
Let me make sure
Where do
that
we go?
Where do we go? I think we're all caught up with everything. Let me just check. We're caught up. We are caught up here. By the way, I want to point something out.
Yeah.
So at let me just bring this up real quick. So for those of you, I love Michael Mann's Miami Vice, the movie, not the TV show. I love the TV show too, but I love the movie. And I just want to point out that Mill Creek, not exactly one of my favorite
Top labels.
companies, but
Yeah.
they are putting out a version of Michael Mann's Miami Vice. So for those of you who don't know, on Blu-ray, Miami Vice has come out, but you can only get the you can only get the director's cut of Miami Vice on Blu-ray.
Okay.
I don't think we're ever going to get a 4K of Miami Vice because it was shot digitally. So I don't think we're going to get Blu-ray is probably the best we're going to get. But I want to point out that this is a steelbook. It's the unrated director's edition on a Blu-ray steelbook, which I really like this cover. But it also has the theatrical version on it, apparently. So if you're interested in it, it has the theatrical version as well, apparently. So, well, I have to tell you. So here's conventional wisdom. A lot of people prefer the theatrical version because it drops you right into the. It drops you right into the action. Like immediately you're at this police operation where they're trying to take down this trafficking group, and it starts right with the Jay-Z and Linkin Park song "Numb" that do whatever that's it's a great song. Whereas the director's cut opens with a boat race, this beautiful boat race in the harbor.
I remember now.
Yeah, and so I like the director's cut version more, but there's a lot of people that prefer the theatrical edition. And the theatrical edition is not on Blu-ray. I believe both are on this, which is cool. And I also want to point out, because I'm a huge Michael Mann fan, that Arrow, this is another piece of news that I forgot to share. So Arrow, Michael Mann's last feature, I believe it was the last feature, was Black Hat, the hacker movie that stars Chris Hemsworth. He did a director's cut of Black Hat that I've never seen. And Black Hat was not the most well-received movie. I liked it.
No.
I liked it. It wasn't great, but I liked it. So Arrow is putting out Black Hat based on feedback they have. They have pushed back the release date of Black Hat, and they've decided to also include the director's cut, Michael Mann's recut of Black Hat, which I am really looking forward to seeing because I haven't seen it. Sometimes, Michael Mann's like Ridley Scott. Now there's a bunch of multiple versions of movies. Like, I don't think Michael Mann always has the best instincts when he's doing his director's cuts. Like the director's cut of Thief, the scenes are fine, but I don't necessarily need them. Then there's different versions of Last of the Mohicans, and there's different versions of Manhunter, and I get it. He likes to tweak after the fact, but like the Heat 4K is too dark, I think, in my opinion. But I'm still excited to get his version of the director's cut of Black Hat. So the Arrow is putting that out.
And I'm probably wrong, Rob, considering Miami Vice, the theatrical version. I think it was on the HD DVD, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I have to check, Rob. I have to check. So it was on the HD DVD, but I could be wrong.
By the way, this Miami Vice Steelbook is $20 at Walmart. You can buy it on Walmart.
That's a fair price.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a schnäppchen at Steelbook at $20. $20.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Yeah.
So, that's I think, my friend, that is all the news that is fit to print. I'm looking. I'm trying to find that where we are at, but I just don't know. Maybe I actually pressed the wrong button or something. I might have, because I've lost the. Here, I'll go right back there. But yeah, so that's no, here it's come to pass. So yeah, there's a few more. 200 Watt Studio says Angel Face is fantastic. The Warner Archive DVD is top quality, but I'm day one on the Blu-ray. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Angel Face is great too. 200 Watt Studio says Force of Evil was released in 2017 through Arrow in a noir box. I have it. Kino's is a brand new transfer with a new commentary by Imogen Sarah Smith. Well, that's really good to know. That's okay. That's very cool. That means that that's another reason to buy that. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic to get. I didn't know that. I didn't know Arrow released that in their box set. That's good to know. Swift718 with a $50 super chat says,
nice. Thank you.
I'd love you guys to have Serial at Midnight's Heath on the show. I love Serial at Midnight. And also Cult of Cinema's Cult of Comics, Aaron Pinn. Aaron Pinn has an encyclopedic knowledge of genre film. People refer to Aaron as Mr. Vin-Sin, Mr. Vinegar Syndrome, Mr. Severin Films, and Mr. Omnibus. Well, you know what? We could reach out. I loved streaming with Jeff from Films at Home. I really want to talk to, is it Elliot Cohen, who does the Criterion Channel? I want to talk to him too, just because I want to hear his soothing voice live on this channel. And then also Swift718 says, again. Happy birthday, guys. Keep up the great crusade for physical media. Well, that's very nice of you.
And after that super chat drop, why don't I show something of the old special editions?
Okay, I'm gonna give it. Let's see what let's since you inspired my look back. Dieter Bastian.
You inspired me, and
Dieter Bastian's going to give us a look back on his. Take it away, Dietz.
Into my archives a little bit back from the DVD days. I haven't looked at those in quite a while. Let's see how they still hold up. The first one is out from Criterion Collection on Blu-ray, but these are all DVDs that I will show now. But I think it's the whole trilogy. But this was from Hong Kong, the Infernal Affairs package back in the day, with all films remastered. And there were 2 digipacks in it. So
wow, dude, that is a sexy box set. Wow.
We have the 2. We have the lead. So it was. Help me. This came with.
Now let me ask you something.
First one, 3. So this was the 3 movies in this one. Yeah, Rob.
Let me ask you a philosophical question. So, would you take the recently released Criterion discs and just use that packaging and put the Criterion discs into that packaging and dump the DVDs?
I have never done that, Rob. Exchange something into a different.
Because obviously, if you've got the Criterion releases are great, but that box set is dope as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But as you are right, Rob, I probably never will watch the DVDs. So this should be the bonus material.
But that box set is cool.
I believe this. So there were 2 digipacks with 3 discs each.
Wow, man, that is an awesome set.
And it came with a poster for the Infernal Affairs. And we will probably, Rob, will be double and quadrupling, dipping when they come out finally in 4K. So this was an old Infernal Affairs set from back in the day. They were all remastered for DVDs. Came with, I believe, DTS soundtracks. Wow. Yes. So Infernal Affairs, pretty thick thing back from the day. And then James Cameron is putting out this this year. This was actually a pretty nice package from back in the day. Probably Rob got it 2 back in the day on DVD. Was the Titanic set?
I still have that.
I love the blue.
Yeah, it was
back in the
great.
day. And do you remember, Rob? At the first DVD release was not enhanced for
Widescreen.
16:9. Only the second one.
Gross.
Then got
But you know what?
enhanced.
Pedro would like that.
So this looked nice in the day. The next one, forgot to check it, Rob. I think we're still waiting for it to come out as a 4K. I think it's not out. It's out on Blu-ray, but not as a 4K from Hong Kong. House of Flying.
Wow, dude.
Daggers.
Look at that. Wow. That's awesome.
This came, Rob, a little bit of a book.
That's almost as big as your Hunger Games book.
A little bit smaller is it still, Rob? So this was the inside. It came with the DVD.
Wow,
but
that's really
there
cool,
were
dude.
two discs in. You had a bambus pencil and the soundtrack for it.
Wow.
And in the DVD there were more. You got it even came with a certificate with a serial number for this package.
Wow.
1117, but I have no idea. Of 2000. The set was 2000 back in the day. And the DVD had not only two discs in it, there were extra stuff here in it too. So I haven't seen this in a long time. So we got what we always used to get back in the day, a booklet.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the hell is this. Haven't this taken out in a long time? What the hell was? Can I open this up here? Yeah. Okay. For if you're reading books, probably, you know.
Bookmarks?
Bookmarks. Exactly. Rob. Thank you.
Wow.
Bookmarks. And then, of course, it came with this little small book for House of Flying Daggers, you know. And my Cantonese or Mandarin is perfect, so I could read everything in that book, but it comes with lots of great pictures.
Yeah.
Rob, am I wrong? It's not out in 4K. It's not even come out in 4K yet, still.
No, and as a matter of fact, I have the what do I have here?
Yeah.
So this is, I got this at the last Criterion sale.
Yeah.
So you
No,
got that's House of
oh,
Flying Dragons, not Infernal
Yeah,
Affairs.
yeah.
Okay, I was going to show you. This is the Criterion Infernal Affairs. It just came
This
out.
is-
Yeah.
So is it just Infernal Affairs or all 3 movies, Rob?
No, it's all 3.
All 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's you know, it's cool, but it's not as cool as yours, but it's got a booklet and stuff, but that is really cool.
Yeah,
But
this
anyway,
this was
House of Flying Daggers. You know, the thing about the unfortunately a lot of the
Yeah.
Chinese movies, like I'd love to get John Woo's stuff, but the condition of them, they look a little ragged, so they're harder.
Especially the black levels are always off. Rob.
They're always they're always off. So it's harder to get Chinese films in 4K. Newer stuff maybe.
House of Flying Daggers.
That is beautiful.
Just put this aside. The next one, I think I showed it back in the day, was from among the 7 Swords
Oh yeah, look at that.
edition from Sui Haag from back in the day. I think this one I showed just quick. This was, you got the swords separately. Everyone use, you can take them out. Just smaller versions. It came with cards too. Wait, oh, there.
You gotta
There we
love
go.
it.
There we go. And I think it's not available in 4K either. Always turning it wrong. Damn it. The mirror. The damn mirror universe. So from Sweetheart, and the discs were, let me just check it. They were in this crate package here. So we've got, I think the movie was split into two DVDs, I believe, because there is a third one in the back. So I think because of the running time of the movie, they split it in two. But I could be wrong about it. It doesn't say anything specific on the disc. So this was the 7 Sword edition.
Good stuff.
And then the next one I probably haven't put out in a long time. A Kung Fu Hustle special edition from the market. So let's check this out. Haven't opened this in a long time, from Stephen Chow's classic, So what is in this, Rob?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have put it out in a long time. Okay. Now the remembrance is coming back. Memory is coming back. Handprint of Stephen Chow was in this. So pretty thick, actually. Just see. It came from Sony. Layout 2005. So almost on the frontier of going Blu-ray. So this was in it, but not all. See if I can put this here. And then it came, what was this? It came with this big folder book. Okay, on one side you had the DVD for Kung Fu Hustle, and on the other side, swag, as much as you can have. Oh, this was a limited edition, it seems, of 6,000 for it. Little Kung Fu menu, little booklet.
So cool.
And then we have here a little book. No, don't know, art book. What is this exactly? Oh, stills from the movie. Yeah, it's nice stills. And still, this movie was, of course, a total blast.
Yeah.
So this was a special edition for Kung Fu Hustle.
Gotta love that, man.
Back in the day. So a little bit stuff from my collection that I didn't think I have shown this, because when we started up, we always wanted to show a special edition, but sometimes we thought, at some point we will run out of really something special to show, because just the steelbook is not really anything extraordinary. So this was actually a pretty huge thing back then. Oh wait, actually it's not all, Rob. there's still something here. So this was the O-ring for the DVD. I don't know why I don't I have it. The O-ring. And another booklet. A little bit of script version. A little bit of the script, the storyboards was in it too.
All good stuff, man. All good stuff.
And it came from Sony, of course. insanely entertaining. Okay, so and who doesn't know Kung Fu Hustle? Come on. And what I got, Rob, I told you last week, I bought replacement cases, but I bought the wrong ones. But no, I got the right ones, Rob. I got the right ones, and not only blue, Rob, I got red ones too. You know, I got red ones too, so I can finally switch out Cloudy Mountain. You know, which is broken here. Yeah, so I can finally.
Well, there you go.
Switch that one out. You know, they are available in red too. So probably the only thing I would need were perhaps some new 4Ks in black. You know, but they're probably even tougher to get. You know? So finally some red ones. Fits perfectly, and this can go into the trash. Okay, so this was a little bit from back in the day. And the other thing, which probably I asked my manager, should I buy this? Which, well, of course, was a stupid question. Of course, yeah, just try it. And I was hoping I could try it out today, but I got the wrong adapter. Because I love my mic considering the quality, but it's always a little bit in the way. And I asked Rob what he thinks if I would try a lavalier mic.
Oh yeah.
Out. I bought it, but I couldn't check it because I have the wrong adapter. So I didn't get any sound. So I ordered adapter. Probably tomorrow I can check it out, and next week we can check it together. And you people have to say the sound quality is good enough, like this one.
I mean, there's people I've noticed.
Good enough.
Yeah, the people are complaining that there's microphones, like for many YouTubers, that microphones
it's not a problem if you just talk, but just showing stuff here, you know.
Yeah,
for me,
but I mean,
for you not, you have the arm.
If you're far away, though,
for me it's always a little bit in the way.
You know, you come back, and it's like the microphones are meant to be, when you're speaking into them, they have to be close. And sure, you could have them, like when I finally switch over to my Sures, I guess you could have them off screen.
Ahead,
I mean, I'll do some experimentation.
Out of screen, perhaps up ahead.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool. You know.
Yeah, cool.
I think
for me, it's just for the showing part, Rob. It's always a little bit in the way, or if I want to do something in the live chat, I have always to do this one. So perhaps if it's good enough that I could use this one, I would have a little bit more room to move here. So this was my personal present I made for myself, and I actually got a pretty good deal on it, Rob. It was 60 euros off on it, so fair price, almost. If it's good, Rob, then it's a Schnäppchen, I would say.
Yeah. Our new friend who's been sending Swift 187, or pardon me, 187. It's Swift 718. Where'd I get 187 from? Swift 178 says, has anyone released the Chuck Norris film Slaughter in San Francisco on DVD or Blu-ray? Yes.
Slaughter in San Francisco?
Yes, Slaughter in San Francisco is available on DVD. You can get it on Amazon. It looks like it's a British DVD. It was released on April 14th, 2016. It's expensive, though. It's like $40. It's got a cool cover. From the producer of Enter the Dragon and the director of Bruce Lee's The Big Boss and Fists of Fury. Warning, Chuck Norris may be hazardous to your health. Slaughter in San Francisco. Here, let me post the cover, because this is some dope. But I don't think it's ever been released on. It's only been released. It looks like it's only been released on DVD.
Yeah.
Unless it got some crazy foreign release, which is possible. You know, you never know. So here's. Apparently that's not the cover that I wanted. I'm trying to put it into the software, and I put the wrong cover, the wrong.
That
disc.
was Rumble in Seattle.
That was not good. Oh, great! Now suddenly I'm getting a a weird error message, and I can't for whatever up. I have a lot of different. Here it is. I got it. Now I got it. Here it is, Dieter. Look at this cover. Who doesn't want this? Slaughter in San Francisco. Chuck Norris may be hazardous to your health. Who doesn't want that? Look at that. So there you go. There you go, Swift 178. You can get this at Amazon, but it doesn't. I don't think it says it on here. Oh, it is. It is a Region 2 Blu-ray. So you would need, it's a Region 2 DVD. So you would need, and the problem with that is Region 2 DVDs, obviously they play faster. They play at 25 frames a second. So the sound's like, it's a little, you'll notice it's a little higher. It's a little higher now. The whole way through. There's nothing you can really do about it. But hey, it looks like that's the only way you can get it. It'd be worth buying. And you might want to check YouTube. Maybe somebody ripped it and there's a lot of clips from this movie on YouTube. There's Chuck Norris versus Don Wong from Slaughter in San Francisco. And it does have a link to buy it on DVD, but there's the official trailer. And the original movie was called Yellow-Faced Tiger. So there you go. That's the original. Yellow-Faced Tiger was the original title. Chuck Norris is very young and virile in this movie. So, yeah. So there you go. There you go. Well, I don't know, Dietz. I would say that that we've had quite the fun show, quite the great birthday show, quite the great Mother's Day show.
We're not there yet. The live chat is still in the wings.
Oh, right. You got to do the live chat. I forget. You love that live chat. Well, far be it from me. I will give the floor to you. The live chat is for you. Take us to the live chat, son.
Previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Irene Jobson. My daughter asked me what baptism was this morning, and I told her it's when someone dunks you in the water. It's some kind of explanation, Irene. You did a good job there.
Yeah, I'm glad, because I can think of another baptism that your daughter shouldn't know about till she gets older. But that's just me. Wait, what?
Dr. Dave, by coincidence, I happen to be wearing my German football shirt, which you are allowed, Dr. Dave, to wear. Considering my nice Hawaiian shirt, Danzig, Dietz is channeling his inner Magnum PI. Actually, Danzig, 1979, it was actually Max Payne. Max Payne wore that shirt. It's from Rockstar in the video game Max Payne 3 when he hit Brazil. And when Rockstar put that shirt out as an option to buy as merchandise, I said, I have to get those Hawaiian shirt. And it is made in Hawaii. It's not made in China. It is made in Hawaii. And Max Payne wore this in the video game Max Payne 3. Bill Barkley. Hi guys, I watched Guardians 3. It was great. Also watched Sisu. It was good too. Also saw Star Wars Vision Season 2. It was all right. But saw Extrapolations. It wasn't bad. Still not watched Simulant. Rob, have you started Star Wars Visions 2? I'm really looking forward.
You know what? I have.
Around to it.
I haven't. I'm really looking forward to it only because the last week has been slammed, and now I'm more open to stuff. So I'm gonna see. Yeah. I mean, I got to see Guardians. I want to see a couple other things. I really want to see Blackberry, and I'm gonna do that.
Roberto Suarez, who does the member chat, and Que Pasa
BGS.
He was a little bit confused. He says the Let's Get Physical Media rating system, is it disc worthy? Roberto, we were just talking about if the movie is made for a streaming service like Tetris or like Ghosted for Apple, if it would just be purchase worthy, if it would come out, if it would be made available, even if we have watched the stream already? Would it be purchase? So it's just for movies who are actually streaming exclusive. And of course, Irene Jobson, I wonder if that's a stripper pole. Bandita, no, it's a lamp. Okay. Tom Jr. Jackson, Dieter says it's a lamp, but we all know it is a stripper pole. Okay, Tom? Okay. Let me just go through here. Okay. Tim Hens, I thought Guardians 3 was great. Wrapped up the loose trilogy nicely. Dr. Dave, my wife and kids went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 today. I didn't bother. Okay. Danzig, 1979, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a great closing chapter, a bit dark for kids and adults who are animal lovers.
Yeah.
That is certainly true. Adventure Square, went to see the Guardians last night. Nice coda to the trilogy. Tim Hens, as an animal lover, I had to divorce myself out of the vivisection scenes and tell myself it was only a movie. Like back in the day, Rob, Last House on the Left, it's just a movie.
Keep telling yourself it's only a movie. It's just a movie.
Just a movie. Adventure Square, Guardians of the Galaxy got pretty dark in places. Office Ricky, MCU has no momentum right now. That hurt Guardians of the Galaxy. What? No, it's looking like it's doing fine. Office Ricky. Gordon Waddell, Sisu is awesome. Unfortunately, still haven't seen that movie. Really looking forward to that one. Das Plato says, I hear Adam Warlock was done dirty. I have no knowledge about the comics, but I heard that too. Bill Barclay, I watched Renfield, was surprised how much of an actioner it was. It was actually pretty good. Exactly, Bill Barclay. Not only good, it was very good. Very good. Danzig, 1979. I have my doubts about James Gunn being in charge of DCU. I can't see any of his DC films matching the success of the MCU films. Okay. Let's hope for the best on this front. Gordon Waddell, Marvel movies were better before Disney. And John MC says, answers to Gordon Waddell, there were no Marvel movies before Disney. Well, John C., if I can correct you there, if I understand it wrong, actually the first movies from the MCU were not Disney movies. That some things obvious people did forget. The first Iron Man came from Paramount, actually. So even the MCU was actually bought from Disney at one point. It was already a running ship, the MCU, when they bought that. Adventure Square. Yeah, I've been sort of avoiding the latest MCU fare, but I did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for what it was. And he said, I always kind of feel like I'm on vacation with the show, so Dieter's great shirt fits the mood. And a lot of people gave congrats to your shirt about War of the Worlds, I think it was last week, too, in the live chat. And Danzig said, that's not good. I had people either side of me on their phones during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. No excuse, unfortunately. That can happen in the theater culture going today. Adventure Square, Rob's recent show discussing Laserdiscs, was a very welcome jaunt into my video store days. MB Dyson 829, I just bought a Guardians 3 soundtrack on CD, my first CD purchase in a couple years. Nice. Danzig, 1979. I still have a VHS player. And NDH, our first VHS player was a Ferguson Video Star. I then acquired a Sanyo Betamax player. I think we all had more than one VHS players over the years. So, just see. Gordon Waddell, is it worth getting a second sight limited edition set of The Strangers? I've never seen it, but heard good things about it. Well, Gordon, as Rob says on the show, the answer is always yes. Considering the question, should I get or buy or purchase something?
I will second that. I have that set of The Strangers, and if you like the film, I think the movie is quite good, and I would get it. Look, I think that Second Sight, it bothers me that they've put out special editions that I don't have. that I should probably, if I ever have any more disposable income in my life, I would love to go out and purchase all the remaining Second Sight's special edition sets that I don't have. I think anything that Second Sight puts out is worth getting. They are top shelf. Their presentations are just astonishing. I mean,
second to none.
They really are, and not just because the Dawn of the Dead box set is my favorite physical media release. I never thought anything would make me want to get rid of. Like, I've been carrying around this Dawn of the Dead Laserdisc box set that had the Argento cut and George Romero's.
Yeah.
But after getting that Dawn of the Dead box set and seeing the quality, I mean, it's nice to. But I'm like, I don't need that. I thought I would be buried with that chrome Laserdisc box set, but I really.
We can do that, Rob. No problem.
But it's not good. It's cool to have as an artifact, I guess. Yeah. But I don't care about it. It's weird. There are some Laserdiscs that I want to keep, but even that Chrome box, I feel like I love my Laserdisc of the first Japanese letterbox Star Wars, of the original Star Wars.
Yeah. Because
it's so good, and it's still considered the definitive color timing of the movie. But even my Dawn of the Dead Laserdisc box set, I feel like it was good for the time, but you got to replace it with that Second Sight box set because it's the greatest thing ever. But Second Sight, just not to belabor the point, they do such a good job. I would recommend buy anything.
There was only the first movie in that set. It wasn't 1 and 2, just the first, I believe. Just for strangers, the set.
Yeah, well, it's just the first movie. Yeah. But it's a beautiful set.
Yeah. MB Dyson 829. I got my first Laserdisc player primarily for the extended cuts of Aliens and the Abyss, back when that was the only way to see them.
And those were beautiful box sets too. The extended version of Aliens and the Abyss were beautiful.
I still like discs, but it's hard for me to read a physical book anymore after Kindle. And Gordon Waddell, what's a book? Is it in 4K with Dolby? I hope so. If
it is in your mind.
Could be.
I read books and they're in 4K and Dolby.
Speaking of Stone Cold and Craig R. Bexley, MB Dyson 829. One of my favorite reversible covers is I Come in Peace, aka Dark Angel, starring Dolph Lundgren. Great sci-fi cult classic. Because, Rob, it was directed from Greg too.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
MB Dyson 829, even if they will never make another 3D Blu-ray ever, I need Avatar The Way of Water in 3D. The Alex Lorber, speaking Warner Brothers, watched Cool Hand Luke yesterday. Excellent. And I hope, Alex, you mean 3 points. Movie, audio, and
the picture. It's stunning. That disc is stunning.
Nice. Rob, you told us about the reparations for the community last week. And Lord Hoss, I need reparations for Star Trek Discovery and Picard. That's reparations. Tina Gussman. Robert and Ida love the stream. Always nice to read. And then Tilo Grimm was not happy with me. You buy 4K disc for 50 plus euros and you complain about an 80 euro game. Well, Tilo, if I purchase something for 50 euros 4K, I get something like this.
Oh, there you go. That's a beautiful Second Sight. How beautiful is that?
Buy a game for $80. For 80, I get, this. I get, when it's not even the game on the movie, just to push the download. And then you get games that are buggy. We have bad transfers here too, but buggy games is even worse, And the prices for games drop really, really fast. So 80 euros. And considering video game is just my second hobby, and it's always time sensitive, because if you play a game, I'm a really slow gamer, so I have put in more hours than the usual game. So that's always a factor. I factor it in. Okay, will I do a game now for 20 plus hours? So I will get Jedi Survivor at one point, but for me this is worth for 50 euros probably. It is, but a game 80 euros. That's for me. If I get just this, not really. And then of course, Rob, you poke the hornet's nest again, which is obviously, if you say Return of the Jedi was the biggest disappointment of your life. Pedro, I still love Return of the Jedi, so I don't listen to Rob. Pod Racing Palpatine. Jedi is a great film. I can't believe he defends Jupiter descending. Alpital. Return of the Jedi was my first Star Wars movie in the cinema, and I loved it, and I still love it. Adventure Square. All the late teen period of my life, I saw it in theaters. Return of the Jedi was a disappointment, but it's fine in retrospect. BCH. Return of the Jedi has problems, but it still has my favorite scene and line in all of Star Wars. The Alex Sorber. Perhaps that is fitting, Rob. Perhaps. Return of the Jedi for me was Godfather 3 before Godfather 3.
I would agree with that.
The Alex Sorber, here you go. And Tim Hens, Return of the Jedi is essentially Muppets in space. Nice, Tim. And Pedro, of course, he couldn't stop trolling. Return of the Jedi was always better than Empire Strikes Back anyway. Come on, Pedro. Come on.
Yeah,
Get
come
rolling.
on, dude.
Get rolling now. Altmetall, how can you not love it, especially after all what came after it? NDH, just upgraded my Blade Steelbook with the 4K version. Looks and sounds great, but got me thinking, where the hell is Blade 2 on 4K? I can only second that, Andy. Where is
Me
Blade
too.
2
Where is Blade 2?
on 4K? Pod Racing Palpatine, answer to Danzig 97. Velocipastor is the kind of cinema Scorsese wishes he could make. So it is cinema. Okay?
It's true.
Big Dis Energy. Has anyone seen Beau is Afraid? It's a pretty good movie. Probably haven't gotten around to it either. I haven't seen it. 3 hours. It's not started here in Germany.
Oh, I saw Beau's Afraid.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I think you mentioned, but I forgot it. Your take on this 3 hour?
It's I think it's a pretty stunning achievement.
Okay.
As a film, you got to see it. I don't know. I need to see it again. It's beautifully made. It's a really interesting film. Yeah. I'm glad it exists. I don't know if I like it.
Okay.
And it's definitely a movie you could see on Mother's Day. But here's
the story. No, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I worry about. So you have two filmmakers that, for instance, Robert Eggers, who made The Witch, which I dearly, dearly love, and The Lighthouse, which I also love. He is a master craftsman, and in terms of tone and setting. And then he made The Northman, which I think The Northman kicks ass. I do.
Yeah.
But The Northman was made for $90 million. And
it's not for the mainstream audience.
Well, and the problem that I worry about is that here are, especially in the face of AI, we need auteurist filmmakers that have something to say. And Robert Eggers, with The Witch and with The Lighthouse and with The Northman, is clearly an emerging master craftsperson. And if he is going to continue making cinema, it's going to be great. But in order, obviously, with the collision of art and commerce, their movies can be as artistic. They can have all the artistic merit in the world, but if they don't make money, they're not going to be able to get more films off the ground. And The Northman lost a ton of money. Yeah. So I'm hoping that Robert Eggers will continue to make films. I really do, because I think he's a master craftsperson. And I think he's a better filmmaker than maybe Ari Aster is, because I find Ari Aster's movies to be a little bit more derivative than Eggers' movies are. But Ari Aster made Hereditary, he made Midsummer, and Hereditary, I recognized a lot of elements. It's still good, still really good.
I love it.
But then Beau is Afraid, he kind of went off the deep end, and he was made a great movie, no doubt. It's a great movie. It's not a very commercial movie, but it's a great film for what it is. The question is, will he be allowed to make another movie? I'm sure he will be, but I just worry that these filmmakers, you in this day and age, you've got to have longevity. You've got to keep those costs down and keep that box office up. And that's what I worry about. I worry about these filmmakers that get enough credibility, and they've got to also be responsible and great custodians of their own career. And I would have, if he had made The Northman for $40 million, it might have been
different.
But to be fair, I don't know if it was COVID protocols. I mean, COVID protocols added millions and millions of dollars to the budgets of movies. So, I mean,
we always forget that. I always forget that. Rob.
And I keep, you know, I don't like talking out of my ass about things I don't like. Believe it or not, people think, but Rob, you always talk out of your ass. But I really try not to. And I don't know the economics behind either one of those movies and the decisions that were made. I just know that they were expensive movies that might not have performed as well. And both the distributors of both those movies indulge the directors. And I want to see both these guys go on and succeed, you know. And I think that if you look at filmmakers that I admire, and I know it was a different time, but you know, John Carpenter made Assault on Precinct 13. First of all, he turned his student film Dark Star into a feature. Then he made Assault on Precinct 13. Then he made Halloween, and he did Elvis with Kurt Russell as a TV movie, and then he made The Fog, and then he made Escape from New York. Even Escape from New York was only like $4.5 million. Now, I know it was 1981 or 1980 when they shot it. I get it. But he really established himself before he made his first studio movie, which was The Thing in 82, and that was a commercial disappointment. And he wasn't really able to recover from that. I mean, The Thing is probably, arguably, you could say it's Carpenter's best movie. He put everything he had into that film, and it sort of derailed his career. I mean, he still went on and made great movies. After The Thing, he made Christine, and then he made Starman. But I love Starman. Starman might be John Carpenter's best movie, but it's not exactly, you know, it was more work for hire. Where I think that The Thing is probably, but anyway. I just want to see these directors have long, fruitful careers. So I worry about
Beau is Afraid had a budget of 40 million, I believe, Rob.
Is it that? But it's very self-indulgent. Yeah, okay. You know, and that's interesting. I want to see, since we're on the topic and since we're talking about this, by the way, Swift718 just sent in a tip. Use the tip feature. He's been sending super chats.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you, Swift718. I appreciate that. And there's more super chats that have come in, by the way. So don't worry if you're still sending super chats in, I can get to them. But I'm interested to see, so let's see how much money, I don't know why.
Beau's Afraid?
Yeah, that Beau is Afraid is making. I don't know why it's because I've got too many things open running this show, so I can't, I'm taxing my internet. So I'll have to get to that later. Oh, I've got so many windows open. I'm killing my poor computer is being overtaxed right now. But what can you do? Let me close some of these. But anyway, keep going on with the chat, and I'll find.
Okay, nice. Okay, this was Beau is Afraid. Pod Racing Palpatine. Dieter's delivery of the "Wanna Get Nuts" line is better than Keaton's. NDH, aftermarket scalpers charge ridiculous prices for premium edition. That is true if it's then, especially if it's out of print. Danzig 1979, any advice from the chat on how a UK buyer can get a hold of Criterions through Barnes & Noble during the 50% sale? Danzig, unfortunately, I have no idea, because they don't ship internationally, and you would have, pay for shipping. You have to reach out to someone in the US, and even then he would have put in the shipping too. So it's always tough. Just wait for it, perhaps for a price drop on Amazon instead, considering the Barnes & Noble sale.
By the way, Beau is Afraid is a 3-hour movie. It has grossed $9,435,900.
Worldwide, Rob, or just
worldwide?
The US?
Worldwide, and it's opened in a lot of areas. So that's not the kind of thing that you want to do. But I'm happy you got to make the movie. But you know what? You've got to have. I mean, it's really important to have a sensibility of Christopher Nolan. You know, when he's not making Dark Knight movies, he's making The Prestige. He's making Inception. He's making Interstellar. And now since he left Warner Brothers, I'm sure that they just allowed him to make Dunkirk as a favor, and it turns out that movie made money. You know, Christopher Nolan is a guy that, I mean, I guess Tenet would be his Tenet's a beautifully made movie. It's probably my least favorite Christopher Nolan film. But I appreciate what he did. But, you know, I think Oppenheimer is going to be huge. But you got to make movies are still a commercial enterprise. You have to make movies.
If you would be the studio of A24, would you have tried to convince him to cut the movie down to some extent?
No, I don't think that would have helped the film.
Okay.
Box office wise, I think, look, God bless A24 because they have incredible, impeccable taste. And they're really, and I think they're kind of an offshoot of Warner Brothers or something, but I've admired A24. I'd love to, it'd be a dream of mine to release a movie under their banner. I love A24, but you still have to, and they're supporting their filmmakers, and maybe this movie wasn't as, but you know, you look at A24, Everything Everywhere All at Once made over $100 million. It was their biggest release ever. That's what, you know, as a filmmaker, you want to make sure that you're making whatever you want to make. You know, you want to be true to your art, but you also want to make some money. You got to make some cash. Yes. And that's the deal. And with movies being as expensive as they are, it's not responsible for filmmakers to make these incredible flights of fancy that are potentially not going to make any money. But I mean, who really knows? You know, visionary filmmakers, it's just that if you're going to be visionary and fiscally responsible. You know?
Considering Northman was a movie, I would say was hard to project how it would do.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the Northman could have done better too. I mean, I don't know more.
You have all the Viking series that people are into at the moment at the streaming service, so it could have been a success actually, you know. But that's why I'm always interested in the box office. You never know how a movie will turn out at the box office. You know?
It's true. You
got the
don't.
sleeper hits. We got the big hits that fail. You know, it's always interesting. Always interesting. Haunted Autumn. I've never seen a line of bad writing cue such nostalgic forever as you want to get nuts. Let's get nuts. Hate those movies now. Hated them as a kid in the 80s. I don't understand the appeal. Okay. Pedro, I just appreciate Superman 4 because it's not Superman Returns or Man of Steel. Of course, Pedro, it's trash. No, that's not Superman Returns or Man of Steel. Okay, that's the difference considering Superman 4. And there was a lot of chatter in the live chat about The Hidden, MB Tyson 829. Have you ever seen The Hidden with Kyle MacLachlan? Great 80s sci-fi classic. Of course we have. And we always look
for Warner Archive put that out on Blu-ray. It's a great movie. I saw that opening night in the theater.
But Marv Dogger has a complaint. The Hidden is great. Is a great early New Line Warner. The color grading on the Warner Archive BD is questionable from his take. Okay. And Adventure Square, The Hidden is a real hidden gem. MB does. It is still. Marv Dogger, Superman 3 4K looks great. Warner used one of their seasoned colorists to work on the transfer, whereas they handed Superman and Superman 2 to one of their junior colorists. Okay. Tommy Ricknell, how does the new transfer of Picnic at Hanging Rock from Second Sight look? I've been told it has some DNR to it. I've not just watched the whole movie. I just started watching it yesterday, but I have no reference for that movie. For me, it looked great. Even if there is DNR applied, for me it looked great. But Rob, perhaps you have seen it. Can you?
I haven't watched the whole thing through. I looked at it and I thought it looked fantastic too. And here's the thing.
Me too.
Unless you're going to really reputable sites, I don't believe anybody's assessment of what they're looking at picture-wise because a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's not to I mean, I would go to people like you know, Spare Change or Teo or techies that really know what they're talking about, because a lot of people don't even know what they're seeing. Because
For me, it looked great, Rob. Even downscaled 2080p, the details were really.
Yeah.
I was surprised actually, Rob, but I have no reference considering this is the first time I actually.
Yeah,
own the movie, so I have no reference how it would look, how it should look. But for me, it looked totally.
Well, because
totally
a lot of people also, they don't understand, like, they're not taking into consideration when something was shot, what film stocks were being used, what it was originated on, and they don't know the difference between things. And I find that to be the case a lot of the time. When people are bitching about the transfer of Dragon Slayer.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, Rob, the people to be the diehard 4K fan, they're just expecting crane all over the place.
Right.
so if you actually would just, instead of DNR, put more crane into it, they would probably be happy.
Yeah.
This is how the movie should look. So for me, it looked great. It looked great. And Video Hunter D says, Rob, Terrifying Girls High School is awesome. You showed the movie last week, so nice, Video Hunter D, to know that. And you weren't you weren't exactly sure, but you were right. Marv Dogger says The Burning is the first Miramax movie.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
You were not sure, but you were right. And Tim Hens upgrade was hugely enjoyable. Totally. BCH upgrade is great. Yes, it is, because it's getting a 4K release. And of course, my friend Chucky. People are a little bit mixed on Chucky. Lotos, Chucky, meh. Haunted Autumn, I love Curse of Chucky. It was a great return to form. Lotos, first Chucky was a blast. Gordon Waddell, Chucky Sucky. Give me Annabelle any day for a cursed doll. Alex Sorber, first Chucky good, rest not my thing. Thomas Logan, our friend, our winner, Thomas Logan. Bride of Chucky was a blast in cinemas. Pedro, who would win a fight? Chucky, Annabelle, or Megan? Okay, considering Chucky, Megan, this is easy. Chucky, because he would just remove her charging pad, she was sitting on. Won the fight already. Against Annabelle, I would have to check how the features on Annabelle were working, but just leave it in a glass case. Chucky would probably be on top of that doll too. Adventure Square, I bought Silent Madness in 3D for Vinegar Syndrome. I'm doing my part, like we all do in Starship Troopers. So, okay, I said it. That was already Thomas Logan. Bride of Chucky was a blast in theaters. And he says, Triangle of Sadness was cinema at its finest. Östlund is a master. Totally loved Triangle of Sadness too. And GA wants to know, region coded, about law-abiding citizen. I haven't checked it, GA, but the back says ABC. So from the cover, it's region free, but we know it could be wrong. I will check it if I get around to it, but the cover says ABC. So it should be region free. The Alex Sorber, I just spent over $200 on pre-orders and I was only getting started.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear.
Story of our life. Altmetall says, nobody talks about the Ghost in the Shell 4K box set from Germany. Only €100. Altmetall, I was thinking to get the anime. The anime movie is coming out here as a new box set, about €100. I'm waiting perhaps Altmetall for a little price drop. A price drop on that one. Gordon Waddell, Renfield was a lot of fun. Started off great, but then Aquafina showed up. And it still was great.
Oh, okay.
It still was great. Gordon Waddell, Dungeons & Dragons was fun. Needed more action. I would go to a sequel. Me too. But unfortunately, doesn't look that way. Let me just see. MB Dyson 829. Physical media is great, of course. But watching the first time on streaming pays off on movies you don't like. That would be actually a good idea to watch the movie first. Fortunately, I loved my cat in the bags.
You do.
GA, hot take, Rob. Logan's Run has to be the most overrated sci-fi movie in history.
Who's this? Who said this?
When GA, just GA.
He's banned.
Just the
Banning.
letters GA.
I'm just
I
kidding.
saw it when released and I haven't changed my mind. I guess I just don't get it. Oh, okay. Adventure Square, I saw Logan's Run in theaters about a year before Star Wars. I still have a 6-sheet of it on my wall.
Ooh, a 6-sheet is 81 inches by 81 inches. That's a big piece of paper. Actually, it's probably 4 pieces of paper. That's big.
And our friend 200 Watt Studio. I hear you. He answered to GA, actually. I love it, but I grew up with it. The trilogy of Logan books are better and a lot different, he says.
Yes, they are.
And this was actually, Rob, I'm through. The live chat from last week, my friend.
All right. Well, I would say that would bring us to the end of this show, but there's more super chats.
If there are still, super chats.
There's some super chats. And Thomas Logan says, RMB, the closest real 15 to 70 IMAX to Dieter Bastian presenting Oppenheimer on film
Thomas.
is in Prague. You should scoop up
No,
Dieter.
Thomas, I will not venture to Prague to see it in IMAX.
You should
The damn
scoop
IMAX
up.
Chill, Thomas.
You should scoop up Dieter Bastian and take him to see Nolan's latest in 70 millimeter in film. You know what, dude? I'd love to go to Prague.
Yeah.
I don't know yet if
that's-
we're going to Europe. I think I'll find out this coming week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think Thomas should come with us. Let's all go. Come
Thomas
on.
is always on my back about IMAX. IMAX is the best.
Road trip. Let's go in 70 millimeter. Come on, man. The Alex Zorba asks, happy birthday, gentlemen. Rob, any update on Free Enterprise? It's high on my needs of an HD discless. I'm also psyched for To Live and Die in LA. Rock on, boys. Nope. Sadly, no information about Free Enterprise. I don't have any information. Tom Jr. Jackson says, I'm getting word that the Post-Geek Singularity website is not working. That could be true. Mike could be working on it today. Mike,
Okay.
So we'll check that out. 5.toast says, I would be curious to know the view counts on Prime Video for The Northman and Midsummer. I'm sure that Amazon has a calculus to their deal with A24 that makes these films more viable than they seem. That could very well be. But as we know from streaming, the streaming services are losing money because unless you're talking about VOD or SVOD downloads or people are paying to buy the downloads when they first come out, once a movie goes onto a streaming service that's subscription only, there's no money to be made. And that's definitely problematic. So, but you might be right about that. It might be made more viable. GRN LPN says, what an amazing time to collect physical media. Zombie Flesh Eaters was banned here in the UK during the Video Nasties BS in the 80s. I now have it in 4K with HDR and Dolby Atmos.
insane.
You know who doesn't have that? Me. and I tried to get it from Diabolic DVD, and it was already sold out. So I hope someone's going to repop that goodness. But who knows? But I need Zombie Flesh Eaters, and I need it. So I want it.
Video
In
Nasty.
4K, I know. So let's bring it. I don't have it. I tried to get it off Diabolic DVD, and they were out of it. So there you go. We are all caught up.
Okay.
And with super chats and tips, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel in that way. Thanks for joining us for our birthday stream. My actual birthday is tomorrow. I don't know.
In 1 hour, Rob.
In 1 hour in here.
In Germany. Here in Germany.
I have we're going to have a family barbecue, Mother's Day barbecue.
Nice.
This is at 3:00. I'm going to get Lana Ewan's new review for, I haven't even watched it. I'm dying to see it.
Was that a suggestion from Europe Beyond?
We had talked about that was on the list, but I thought they were going to
Okay.
do Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love that they've done. It's funny. She had like in the middle of the night, they dropped this video and she just wrote surprise on it, which I
nice.
love.
Nice.
And I haven't watched it yet. So I'm sure the pineal gland. I don't think she's ever seen this movie, so I can't wait to see her review. I cannot wait. I want to thank Lord Toth and Dr. or Tom Jr. Jackson. I don't know why I called him a doctor. I don't know if Mr. Foley is here either, but if you are, thank you for moderating, being a moderator, and we're all goof people. And everybody, again, thanks for becoming members and hanging out and all that. It's great to have you here. And I can't believe we're going to go on to episode number 108. A lot of good stuff has come out that I didn't acquire this week, and I got to find out if I can get things back that were canceled and all of that, like the 3 and 4 Musketeers in 4K. I'm really pissed. We'll see. But on that note, Dieter, what should we tell the folks at home?
Yep. Last week I wanted to get the Critics Court was in session this week again with the first charge from Gasco against Disney Star Wars about a fraudulent misrepresentation of the OG characters. The charge 1 live video went up on Wednesday. It was a great stream. And I have to say, Rob, unfortunately, I have to say, considering Disney, of the first charge, from my perspective, not guilty, unfortunately. Not guilty.
Hey, I think...
You didn't put the OGs together? Yes, but they didn't say that, Rob. Just a black and white photo, little bit of a screenplay read, but they didn't really say that. So, fraudulent misrepresentation, for me. Charge 1, unfortunately, I have to say, not guilty, Rob. Not guilty.
Well,
but I'm really looking forward to the next charge.
Have you been out of sync this whole time? I don't know. I was seeing you out of sync. I hope you're not. Maybe I just threw you out of sync. Chris wants me to go on that, and I said I want to speak in defense of Kathleen Kennedy.
Ooh. On which charge, Rob? Do you know which charge?
I don't know what the charge is. I have no idea. Wait a minute. Have you been out of sync this whole time? I didn't see anybody. Here.
I'll get it.
Here, I'm going to kick you out and come back in.
Oh.
I'm going to kick you out and come back in. I don't know why you are out of sync, but I don't know how long you've been out of sync. I hope that he hasn't been out of sync for a long time. Has he been out of sync for a long time? I don't know. Hopefully he's not. Wait a minute, disconnect. Let me reconnect to previous session. Dietz, come back in. Come back, Dietz, come back. I hope you can come back in, unless I've cut you off forever. Oh, I hear Sebastian is whining at the door. He wants me to come out and play with him. It's okay, Sebastian. Just recent desync. Oh, okay. Okay, well then it's I don't know where Dieter is. Dieter, did you get kicked off and you didn't come back? I mean, come on, I want to reconnect to a previous session. Oh well. Anyway, Dieter, if you can't get back in, I don't know what to say. They kicked you out. Maybe there's some shenanigans happening. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll just end the stream. I'll end the stream, Dieter. If you can't get back in, something wacky is happening. There's some wackiness happening. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to end this show. I'm going to end our birthday stream if Dieter can't get back in. It's been a great show. Thank you for being here. Thanks for celebrating our birthdays with us. And with sometime within the next hour, the new Lana Ewan Reviews goes up of Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. So check that out. I will be putting that up, and it'll probably be ready to go or launch. I'll try and make it go at 2:30. So tune back in here and check it out at 2:30, and that's it. And remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I would say to everybody, have a better day and go buy some discs and make sure you're watching things at the proper aspect ratio on your TV, because if not, it just makes us sad.
I wonder why I'm never lonely. I wonder why we spend these nights together. Is this the room I'll live my life forever? I wonder why in LA. To live and die in LA.
It's 4K! Finally! How long did it take? Too goddamn long! July 18th, baby!